Gentlemen, we've got some VOD reviews to do today. I think we've got about 5, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I'm not too sure. Before we hop into it, let me boot up a few things. Then we'll get this show on the road. Hope everyone is doing well today. Played a bunch of Overwatch today. I didn't really play too much Cass, but I played a lot more Genji. And that did not go well. Let's just say I'm not... Let's just say the Cassidy skills do not translate well over to Overwatch. Or sorry, over to Genji. But, you know, you gotta live and learn. But let me pull this up. And there we go. We're good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and start with New Queen Street. History, replays, imports. This is New Queen Street from Snot. He said, so I just started picking up Cassidy and DPS in general, switched from tank and didn't play in like a year, so I just need every bit of advice I can get. Okay, so in that case, we're going to look at mainly macro related stuff. We're going to be looking about Cassidy fundamentals and what that entails, really. Just so the things like range, things along those lines. So let's hop into it. So we're playing Cass. First thing I want to look at is our team comp. So on Cass, the most important part of this hero is to identify who your other... Whoops, let me change from the highlighter to actually the pencil. Is actually to see who our other DPS is. So in this case, it's going to be a Sombra. So Sombra is a flanker. So we're going to want to prioritize playing in main, particularly because we're going to have a Rhine and a Mercy on our team. So we should be doing an absolute boatload of damage in main. So that should be your priority. Enemy comp, if we just take a look at that real quick, it's all over the place. You've got 2 more dive-esque heroes. I mean, they've just got high mobility, low healing. So shooting tank is actually going to be quite valuable. Like if you force out healer or if you force out the heal from Roadhog, he's not going to get healed very quickly from his team. So, and also let me turn this down. Yeah, so shooting him is actually quite high value. Okay, so we come in main. So at this point, so on New Queen Street in particular, on Cassidy, there are not a lot of good places for you to stand on first. You have these options around point here, but a lot of people will play this top left high ground and look to shoot people from the side like this. The only issue with this is this gets out of range very quickly for Cassidy. So what you would want to do is walk to this high ground and play this catwalk, or you can come all the way around here and push out to this left side and try to go for a flank like this, or fight them as they rotate out, or something along those lines. So I'm not too against you playing on the floor here, but if you are going to play on the floor here, I want you to play on this side, not this close. Because the problem is you have very close proximity to the enemy tank, and if for whatever reason this guy flips a switch in his brain and holds the W key against you, you're kind of fried. So that would be my only concern, right? Okay, shoot the Genji. Yeah, see, and this is the problem, right? If this Roadhog was better, he would have actually killed you. I mean, I understand you're in the middle of your team, but it's just why put yourself at risk to begin with. I'd have rather you been playing here with your Rhine and then rotate up the staircase as the fight was devolving. Nice crosshair placement. Nice shots. Okay, we're looking at the Genji. Fighting the Sojourn, not bad. Okay. Shoot the Genji. So one thing about the Genji matchup is most of the time you can read when he's gonna dash you. So shoot him here. I'm anticipating he dash me, so you need to roll backwards. Yeah, like we needed to roll backwards at any point in this, because the reason why is if you roll backwards, especially if you can catch him in the dash animation, he'll actually end in front of you rather than behind you, and it makes the fight a lot easier. So we needed to roll a little bit earlier there, but otherwise fine. Okay, you can see that Sombra. Not sure why. Oh, okay, sorry. Never mind. You couldn't see the Sojourn. I was looking at red team is our team. Okay. Kill hog. Nice shots. Looking at Genji. Okay, that was okay. I'm not gonna worry too much about the matchup. Okay, so we have Deadeye. I want to see you play around Deadeye. So what I'd like to see you do here is come wide here and play this door frame and look for a wide Deadeye when the time is right. Currently playing in main. So the only thing I'd say here is you're peeking a Sojourn that has rail. And you have no cover, right? I mean, there's no cover around here. Like, I'd like to see you play closer to this. Or if you are going to play wide like this, you need to be prepared to roll, right? But I don't think you're playing that with roll in mind. Okay, looking at Roadhog. Nice shots. So, our summer's in main, whatever. Yeah, so I think our mistake here is we didn't play for the Deadeye. And as a result, we get caught out pretty easily. Like, the problem here is, so we play on the inside of this corner, those hog swings. Luckily, we dodged the hook, but now we're kind of stuck here. Right? It's too late to make a rotation now. I mean, actually, now you probably could rotate, but we needed to be here this fight, to be honest. We needed to be here and pop Deadeye, like, over the last 5 seconds. That's how we would have won this fight. Playing main is just not going to be it. Okay. So we come back from spawn, shoot the Roadhog, come up top and farm a little bit. So the only thing I'll mention is if you already have ulti and you don't think any of this poke is going to yield a kill, sometimes it's better just to not poke because you're going to feed them ult charge. You already have your ulti anyway, so it's not like you're building anything. Yeah, so I would just be careful not to die here. Okay, cool. Big pin from our Ryan. Nice kill on the Kiri. Nice shots on Hog. Okay, I wouldn't Deadeye this. The fight's won already. Okay, so there's no reason to Deadeye. Yeah. Nice roll. Yeah, so there's 2 mistakes here. So I wouldn't have Deadeyed. And then also what I would have done is at this point here, once I'm here, what I'm doing, I mean, it's probably more like here, right when you Deadeye, what I'd actually be doing is you can actually make this roll from this high ground to this, or sorry, let me move my microphone. You can actually make this roll from this high ground to this bus, I guess, or tram. I don't even know what this is. And then you can shoot from here. I think this would have been the better angle, because then, yeah, I think you have flash. Yeah, oh, flash is about to come off cooldown. But by the time it comes off to cooldown, I would have been able to flash the Sojourn and get the kill. Yeah, nice shots. But, yeah, and then you just come too wide here and die. Okay. But we needed to save Deadeye here. There, that was really bad. Okay. So we come right side. Nice kill on the Kiri. I wouldn't even come fight this guy. I would actually come wider on the right side here to open up an angle. I mean, it ends up being kind of convenient for you to punish this guy, but I would have looked to do this rotation, but I think this is probably fine. Yep. Okay, I don't mind you being here. Oh, you need to commit to this. Your Sombra just EMP'd. Your Sombra just EMP'd, bro. She needs your help. You need to be here right now fighting these guys. Right, your Ryan pins in. You could have helped him. Yeah, there's a lot we could have done here. And you can still contribute to this fight and play to live, right? I mean, you can just play the staircase and then get ready to roll out. Like, there's a lot of different things you could have done there. Coming right side is I would say the more passive play. I don't think it's the correct play to come this right side. Okay, don't fan also. If he's not low and about to die, don't fan. Like here, he's got more than half his HP. No amount of, especially when he's in cardiac, no amount of fans is about to kill bro. Yeah, just shoot him. Also, you're picking the wrong major perk. So I actually don't mind this fan the hammer perk if you plan to fan the hammer tank. I do think you should break the habit of using fan on tank. Typically, whenever you look at the best players, particularly Lip, they only fan the tank when the tank is like this low HP, right? That's about it. Other than that, they just left click. Even monkeys, even in divas, every time they just left click normal shoot. So in this situation, because you're just not going to be fanning very much, you should just pick the Deadeye perk. But if you plan to just fan tanks more often, then go ahead, by all means, use that perk. But you absolutely should never use this headshot perk. Not even pros get value on this perk. The reason why is because there's almost no situation where roll is on cooldown offensively, okay? You're almost exclusively, because Cass has such limited mobility in this game, roll is almost always used in a defensive nature. So as a result, roll is almost never off cooldown, right? And when it is off cooldown, that means you're disengaging from the fight, and as a result, you're not going to be getting headshots, okay? Or if you are getting headshots, it's because you're kiting. And in most players, the average player has about 20%, sorry, the average GM cast player has about 20% headshot rate or crit, right? This is like the best cast players is 20% crit rate, okay? And this is like farming tanks. This is there's a lot of different factors that go into this, but even with 20%, they still don't proc the perk enough for it to have value. So just don't pick this perk. It's not good. You should always get double flash, and I guarantee you, you'll actually win more games because you picked that perk. It's actually insanely good. It extends your flash range by about 3 meters, sometimes 4, depending on how you want to look at it. But that extra range is extremely strong. You can catch out a lot of flankers, a lot of supports with that. So you should be emphasizing that. The other thing I'll mention is that it also does more damage. So flashbang with the 2 nades will do 105 damage over the 75 that you normally get with normal flash. But this does have 2 flashes that both need to hit. So it's like 50, I think it's 50 and 55 is how it like ends up being, or maybe it's like 52.5, 52.5, I don't remember. But either way, you should be picking the double flash perk. It's just stronger. It's just strong, like objectively stronger. Unless you're Lip or Flora or any of these God hit scan players, you should basically never take the headshot perk. Okay. Okay, so we get out. Okay, we're just too close. You need to keep kiting. Yeah, I think we die to him. Yeah, we die to him because we don't kite out early enough. You just need to leave earlier. That fight was lost and you didn't identify that fast enough. Okay. I don't really mind this Deadeye. Just cancel it now. No one else is going to reswing you. So you need to cancel it, and then you need to wrap left side. You need to come this way and try to catch them as they try to rotate out. That would be your play. Holding this is really thorough. Yeah. Okay, other thing I'll mention is we'll look at the micro here. So I don't mind the flash. Yeah, and then you're just kind of looking at his feet. So that was the only thing. You needed a headshot here. Okay, we need to roll backwards. Nice. Okay. Shooting hazard. Okay, these need to be headshots as well. So body shot. Yeah, just trying to aim for the head. It's really, really important on cast, especially when you're damage boosted. You just do so much damage. Okay. Swing out left side. You hear the Reaper on your right. Yeah, he TP's out. Okay. So I want to see us play the mini room. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Demon. Actual demon. Okay. That's fine. Nice kill on the hazard. We come left side. Perfect. Don't drop. Nice. Okay, now you need to roll across. Yeah, so you need to, I mean, you can grab this mini if you want, but I think the better play would have been rolling across because your healers are here, right? Your Alar's trying to heal you. You needed to roll across to this high ground so you can play the catwalk. Yeah, playing on the floor here just kind of, it limits your options. Like now, if you went to the high ground, what would have been good is you could have come here and then you would have made this rotation through the mega room and had this angle. Of course, you have to be worried about the Malga dive, but this angle would have opened. Oh, I actually have a little speck on my screen. Let me get rid of that for y'all real quick. I don't even know how long that's been there, but whatever. Anyway, you would have had this option available to you, but more importantly, you would have had this available to you. So this just means you're pretty much guaranteed to live. The only way you die here is Reaper TP, so you just got to watch out for that matchup, but I would have preferred you on that angle. Yeah, because, yeah, so that's exactly why, right? I mean, they just run down main and we get rolled. So I would have preferred you come here or come right side, either one. Or, yeah, flanking would have been too slow, so I would have preferred either of those. So very fortunately, we get rezzed. Don't mind the Deadeye. You have to kill him, bro. He's 1 HP. He's actually 1. You even saw he was 1. You would have killed him even with fall off if you just shot him again. That is crazy. That was a free kill you just gave up. It was a good draw, though. Go right. Maybe playing left is better, actually. Yeah, I think playing left's better. I think if you went right, like my hunch told me, the voices in my brain told me, you actually would have been too far and could have died. Yeah, we're just kind of fried. I don't know if there's a way we could have done this better. Yeah, I think it's just don't die to the Malga. Kill that Malga. Yeah, actually, if you killed the Malga, you would have lived in this next fight here, because this Malga wouldn't have been alive to kill you again. So, yeah, that was your mistake. Okay, we're coming back from spawn. We use Lariel. I don't even mind the drop. I think it's fine. Okay, we're just gonna win this duel. So what happens here? You hear him above you. You react to it. You're in your reload. You need to roll backwards, number one. So the thing you need to understand about the Reaper matchup is it's all about distance. If he's point blank, you're screwed. Okay, you're going to lose every single time. So what you needed to do is roll backwards, pretty much right when you saw him, to ensure that you're as far away as possible, and then go for the fight. Right? When it comes to flashbang, there's a lot of different ways you can play the matchup. In really high elo, what good Reapers will do is right after they TP, they will use Wraith immediately. So in those situations, you want to hold your flash until after the Wraith goes through. But, you know, sometimes you want to throw it immediately. I just can't give you great advice on when to use flash. It's just going to, you know, understand it's a mind game. The other options you have is to like punch, to fake the flash, and sometimes it'll force it. You can roll through the Reaper. You know, you have a bunch of options. But you actually don't even roll at all, and that's why you die. So we just needed to see roll come through here, and then you would have been fine. But, or I don't know if you would have been fine, but it actually would have made this a little bit easier, right? Like what you could have done is, yeah, I'm not going to harp on it too much, but I think that's kind of what that just came down to. Okay. So we're now losing. So yeah, in this situation, yeah, don't fight for the high ground. You're going to die. We're also just a little close. We get bailed out by our supports. But so we really shouldn't be getting bailed out by our supports in situations where they have relatively high mobility, or more importantly, when they already control this high ground and there's not a great way for you to contest this. You really should be respecting the space and be playing more like behind this phone or this bus stand or whatever, or just straight up waiting in spawn type of situation. Or you can come wide like this and then take space again, but you just get too close and you force a lot of your support resources too early, right? Like, your Mercy has to use Flash Heal on you, and I think Suzu also comes out. Yeah, so you get both things. And as a result, your team is going to be at a huge disadvantage going into this next fight because you made a positional mistake. So it's good you live, but don't let that excuse the fact that that was a bad play. Okay, this Moira dies because Josh is just goated. Nice, this guy should die. That's very unfortunate. I like the Deadeye. Okay, drop. Roll through him. Okay, you needed to roll through him there so you didn't die. And force him to 180. But, yeah, and actually because you don't do that. So here's the thing. This, I don't mind this Deadeye, okay? You also need to drop earlier because your tank is here. Your tank is right next to you, okay? So if you drop now, here's how you play this. You drop now. Oh, shoot. My fault. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so Deadeye, shoot, drop now. Shoot this Reaper in the head, which you do. Roll through him right now, force him to 180, and then what is he supposed to do after that? He turns for you and then dies to the Eraser, or you kill him, either one, right? So that's what you need to do, and you would have taken less damage here. And as a result, you wouldn't have died to this rail, okay? So, and this is the thing about Overwatch. Generally in Overwatch, every mistake has some percentage level to be capitalized on and snowballed. And as a result, as a player, we want to clean up everything we do to the point where we're not making punishable mistakes regularly. Or if we are making a punishable mistake, there's a high risk, high reward associated with that, right? So if you go for a Deadeye like this and you know the enemy Ana has sleep, but there's 5 people in your FOV, you know, you're taking a high risk, high reward play, right? For example. So that's what Overwatch is all about. You don't want to just make mistakes or do things for seemingly no reason without reward, right? In your situation, you should have just rolled. I mean, the risk reward was clearly there. Okay, so the problem is we're not staging here. We're still on the floor. You needed to make this rotation. You could have either rolled out the window or you could have came up the staircase this way and staged here. But being on the floor is not going to be the answer, especially against Malga. Like, I'm 80% sure you're going to get caged this fight, and then you're just going to die. So let's see. So we're in main. We're playing the bus. Nice shots on Reaper. Maga charge. No, he just cages the tank. Okay. And then we just don't really contribute a lot. We fan it. Yeah, okay. So that's... You made a bunch of different mistakes here. So your ultimate error is that we didn't stage for this fight at all. You just stood in main and was waiting for the fight to happen, right? You didn't make a rotation, which was your big mistake. But now that you're already on the floor and you made the macro mistake of not positioning, in terms of your raw micro, the problem is... Well, here, let's get to it. So we contest the Reaper, and the Reaper actually dies. So great job. You also have great crosshair placement. I'll mention that. So one thing you don't need to practice is your mechanics. You just need to work on your game sense right now. So a mistake you make is you come wide, which is super bad. The reason being, I mean, it's kind of obvious why. Everyone on the enemy team is basically shooting you because you're super far from cover. Now you're going to demand support resources, right? You're already demanding Curie Pocket, which is terrible. And if this Malka decided to charge you, you're cooked. If this Soj build rail, you're cooked. And you have to use roll to get out, okay? If you actually were in the situation where if you were being pressured by better players. And then we just sit in main, because there's nothing for us to do against Maga Shield. And then now we don't have an angle, right? You needed to be here if you wanted to play this. Or you needed to go for this wrap play, right? Either one. You could have done either one, but we just sit in main, right? So, and there's like... all these decisions are hard to make, like, in the moment, if I'm being honest. It's trying to navigate these mid fights is really, really hard, and even pros have problems with it sometimes. But the difference between you and a pro is a pro would have staged beforehand. Okay, they would have been anticipating this kind of fight and playing back here and playing this angle and playing their life and, you know, not getting super greedy. Or they would have went for a late fight flank on these guys and went for that. Or going all the way back, they would have staged and been this high ground this whole fight and been uncontestable. Who on the enemy team is going to contest you? It's just the Reaper, or Soj or Moira or Kiri have to use some kind of mobility to get to you, which is good for you. And then you roll forward because you have to, because the Malga pinned behind you, and you just die, right? So you just made a bunch of errors here. Oh, okay, we get rezzed. Okay, sorry, I didn't see this. So we get rezzed. And then we need to roll out. Perfect. Soj is above us. Let's throw flashbang. Okay, I would have thrown flash there and try to come left side to fire, but whatever. Yeah, and then we... Okay. Okay, we're shooting this Reaper. Yeah, you just have play main syndrome, okay? So you need to get out of main. I want you to come... I understand that you have a Sombra, and as a result, I mentioned at the very beginning, you have a Sombra. So as a result, you need to be prioritizing playing in main because your Sombra is typically going to be on the off angle. But that doesn't mean you can't play up here and shoot them from here, or play here and shoot them from here. You certainly can, and you can provide the same value. What I don't really want to see you doing is the entire game coming mega and shooting them from here, right? I mean, it's also out of your effective range, and there's a couple other issues, but that's really what I'm saying when it comes to your comp. But okay, so we're still just on the floor in main, and shoot the Malga. And we shouldn't even be in a position to die to that, is what I'm saying. So that's your mistake, and I think you just lose. Yeah, so the mistakes I'm seeing is really you're just playing main a lot and you're not staging before your fights. After every single fight, I want you to think in your brain, where do I need to be when the next fight starts, okay? The next fight, in your brain, you should be thinking, okay, we just want to fight right here. I think the next fight is going to be probably about here. And then you need to think, okay, it's going to be right there. So where do I want to be because the fight is right there? I don't want to stand on the floor in main. So I'm actually going to come through the mega room on the right side and then come up top here. And then I'll have cover and a window to be able to do a bunch of damage. And that's how you should be thinking about it, right? You should be doing that over and over and over and over again until you win the game. Every single game, okay? So I need you to stage more. I think your mechanics were fine, so I wouldn't worry about things like that. You weren't aiming at the ground. You were aiming head level. I mean, it got you a fair bit of kills. And then in Reaper matchups, just remember to use roll. You can either use it to, if you're super close to the Reaper, roll through them. And if you are far away from the Reaper, just try to roll even further away. Okay, so that's just going to be a read for you. And then that's really... And then I would have liked for you to play around your Deadeye. So on this point here, I would have liked to see you come out wide this way and play for a Deadeye, but instead we just play in main, okay? But that kind of comes down to your other issue, which is that you don't stage for fights. You don't look for deeper angles. You don't look for off angles. You're kind of just playing in main. You play some off angles here, right? Like you're not playing in the street always. You are playing like here, and sometimes you went this way, but in general, there's more to the map than that, right? You have this high ground you can work with, but taking all of this space requires planning, and you're not planning at all. So that's your mistake. But other than that, I think you played pretty well. To me, it looks like you play well enough to be climbing. I would need to see more gameplay, which looks like we're actually about to hop into because our next VOD is from you on Havana. So on Havana, you said, I think my positioning is off, and on attack, I couldn't find a way to pick one, and I reload a lot. So reloading is typically not an issue on Cassidy unless you're fanning the hammer. So unless I see that, I'm not going to worry about it too much. So in this comp, the only thing I'll keep in mind is that you are playing Widowmaker. So it's going to be a lot of just sitting main and just putting out pressure. Because this guy's just going to be taking the window angle and shooting down mid. So you should just be focusing on doing damage. The one thing I'm mentioning on... It's kind of crazy I say that because that's the only thing you really can do on Cass is do damage. But anyway, so the thing about Havana here is there's not a lot of great places for Cassidy to play. Sometimes Cassidy's will play here, kind of where the Roadhog is and where you are right now. I've seen Cassidy's play here, and this is where I typically try to play, as well as I've been limit testing this angle a lot more as well recently. So I don't have a playbook for you on Havana. It's not solved because this is just a really difficult Cassidy map. The only thing I'll mention about this angle here on Havana is that when you are playing here, there's not a great rotation out for you. Every single rotation has a lot of cover, has no cover. Okay, so like rolling back this way or coming back this way and trying to do something like this, it's really difficult because what cover do you have other than this truck, right? It's terrible. So it's all about rotating early and trying to minimize damage taken if you're gonna play here. Okay. So we come wide here. So you're going a little bit too... So if you are going to go wide for something like this, just keep in mind you want to go only as wide as your roll is far, okay? Because you want to be able to roll the cover if you absolutely need to. So you should never be coming this wide, but, you know, coming more like here is a little bit more acceptable because then you can just roll the cover. So you're going too wide, and you don't even know if they're widows, so you're actually just disrespecting the entire enemy team, right? If you see that they're widow, you just shouldn't be here, okay? You're going to die. In 80% of scenarios, you shouldn't even be putting yourself at risk. Yeah, like, don't even peek, bro. Like, you have nothing to gain and everything to lose by peeking this. Yeah, and ignore the Doomfist, you're not going to be able to do anything. Okay, so you need to be here. Like, if you're going to play this angle, you need to be here, swinging out this way, shooting them in the back, okay? Probably not this, because you're going to be walking into main, but, like, looking for something like this. Okay, playing the off angle. But now we're just playing in main. So you do rotate out early, which is good. We take a Widow shot. Shoot them top. Okay, I would have actually liked to see you go top here. Okay, I like the angle. Come up top left here. The fight's not totally broken out yet, and you can come look here and shoot them here, or you can come out this way. Either one. I mean, your Widow's up top as well, but I wouldn't have mind you taking the high ground. I think there's merit to it. Okay, this is also fine, right? The reason I like this is because they're playing Doomfist, and you can basically catch his dives whenever he punches in from a safe angle, right? You're not super punishable. Nice kill. Okay, I would not reswing. I would be rolling backwards toward my team. Yeah, I also wouldn't have gone this way because it opens you up to dying, right? Rolling across this way, you have to cross this open space. You were right here. I would have actually just rolled straight up backwards into the stairs. Either way, whatever. That's really nitpicky. So we're in main again. Okay, and then we just kind of get caught out here. So here's the thing. Like, your big issue is you're just kind of disrespecting the enemy team. Right? Like, what is the point of this? They're playing Widowmaker. It's been over a minute into the game. It is a good, to be honest, this is a good range for you to fight this Widowmaker. But if we're being real, this Widowmaker should be like here. Like, this is not a great Widow angle. It's just because this Widow is bad. Like, the Widow should be here. She should be here. She should be here. She should be trying to come high ground. Like, I don't think the Widow is playing this correctly. But either way, we shouldn't really be swinging here. And we need to roll to the other side immediately. Like this, you can kind of see why this is uncomfortable. All right, we get poked out. We're just we're the farthest guy forward, right? If we look at the macro where our team is, right? We are this guy, and look at where the rest of our team is, right? We don't own this space. This is unowned space, and we try to take it on our own, and we get punished for it. Okay, so you overextend here, so no reason to swing out. Just play defensively as you have been, and yeah, you just kind of die for no reason. And these are the kind of deaths we want to minimize. These, like, it's not, I wouldn't call it lazy, but for lack of better words, it's deaths that have no tangible benefit for our team, right? We want to die in situations where we took high risk and we took for high reward, and it just failed, right? And that's okay. Nice job. Whoops, not slowing this down. I want to speed it up. Okay, I want to see you go high grounds, or, you know, playing minions can be okay. Okay, yeah, and we just come wide again, right? Like, do we really need to do this? Are we really going to outrange a Torbjorn and an Ana? No, right? You kind of just tunnel vision on this turret. You see the turret and you're like, oh my gosh, it's actually my effective range. Let me shoot this. And you just take a gajillion damage for no reason, okay? Stop doing... I don't really know how to explain this to you other than when stuff is out of your effective range and you are the furthest guy forward, like right now... Like, look at this, dude. You're the furthest guy forward. Stop doing this. You're going to keep dying. I don't know if it's... Maybe it's just this map. You don't really understand how to play the angle on this map. But generally, you typically, on defense especially, you should just never be here. Never be here. It's too close in proximity. And if you think about it from your support's perspective, most supports are going to be playing, like, here, or even sometimes here. And when you're in this angle, there's basically no way for them to help you, okay? So it's also an issue of isolation. So just stop peeking like this and you'll be all right. Because we've seen it from you. You played it otherwise fine. You just keep peeking for no reason. Okay, they have walls right now. So we're playing passively. This is great. So you know she's not looking at you. Why? Okay? Why do we know that? Because she's shooting someone else and you can see the tracers on your screen, okay? She shoots straight past you. She does it again here. Perfect. And then she ends up turning. So you get a little bit lucky here, but you catch your in-between shots. So you apply that correctly. And you're already aiming head level. This is the important part of this. I want you to just keep in mind, okay? So because you have a good crosshair placement habits, right? You're already aiming head level. When you turn the corner... Oh, sorry. We need to get a little bit further. Here, when you turn the corner, you're basically already on her head, okay? And as a result, it's 2 simple clicks and the game is over, okay? This is why I emphasize crosshair placement so much to all my students. It's incredibly, incredibly important, and it gets you so much value for free, basically. Go top. So you see this guy's nanoed? What are you reasonably going to be able to do against a Nano Sigma? Pretty much nothing, okay? So I want you to come up top and either look for a Deadeye or just shoot somebody, okay? But yeah, sitting in main, like even here, bro, you actually make the rotation. You just need to commit to this. You're going to have so much more value here. Even if you don't kill anybody, if you force them to turn around, what happens if you force them to turn around? Now, this Sigma will be alone. The only person helping him is going to be this Ana, who can't even help him because the Sigma is too deep. And it's probably the Zen and the Torb will turn to shoot you. You'd be going 2 for 1 and living. But we decide to walk forward against a Nano Sigma? Are you insane? And now we lose our good position and roll out to the side. Now we have no mobility and we're vulnerable. This is a terrible play. Okay. Yeah. So our team bails us out here. You actually pretty much contributed nothing to this fight, and our team bails us out. So these are the fights we don't want to have in our games. The fights where we do nothing. The fights we want to have are the fights where we contribute. Because at the end of the day, if your Torb just got double headshot by the enemy Torb, you would have lost this game. Okay, or at least this fight, you would have lost the point. You wanted to make a high agency play, come to the top left and shoot them in the back, not this. Anyway. Okay, so we have Deadeye, and we're also, here's the thing as well, we're not staging. Okay, where do we want to be for the next fight? I guess you want to be on cart. I mean, it seems to me that cart is just the answer for defense. Like, well, I would have liked to see you do something, aka come to this high ground. Because also, if we look at the enemy team, how in the world are these guys going to deal with you now? They were on Widowmaker, but they're no longer Widowmaker. They're now playing Cast Torb, and the only way for them to deal with you is shoot you from range. But you know what the cool part about this game is? The actually coolest part of Overwatch is that bullets don't penetrate anything. So you can come up here and you can 80-80, and they cannot possibly kill you. So that's the play you're missing, okay? Once they're off range or mobility, you can play the top left and basically not worry about anything. But we just kind of sit on the floor. So we're playing Kovacs right now, just sitting on the floor, shooting the little circle guys as they walk past us. Not looking to stage for a Deadeye. Just chilling. Did we lose this? Maybe not. Okay, yeah, so you know how this is actually good? And you're like, wow, I can actually make a play here because I'm on a deep flank. Dude, you could have done the same thing from the high ground, bro. Like, just be here. This is all you needed. Just be here. That was it. Deadeye's not bad. You're far away, and they're not looking at you. Like, my rule for Deadeye is have range, use it to reload, or be on a flank. It's typically what it comes down to on Deadeye. Okay. So yeah, you just made a couple macro errors. You're not setting up for the fights. And this was a similar issue on New Queen Street, right? It's a lot of just playing main for no reason. And then I feel like you try to take an off angle, but you don't really know why to take an off angle. So you go a little bit too wide, or you don't play cover correctly, and then you get punished by your supports because you're isolated. Or you get punished by the enemy team because you're isolated. Okay, so on Havana, what the play is for Cassidy is don't really worry about this left building. Generally, you're going to want to come out this right door off rip, or this one here, either one, and then you want to make the cross to this low ground. You're going to come all the way through the mini room, and then you're going to take this fight with whoever's in the window. Okay, in this case, it's Ana. If they look at you. If they don't look at you, you're going to look to make this rotation, and then you're going to come up the stairs and play the high ground. It's a really long setup, but it's the best way for you to contribute for on Cassidy. The reason being, the reason you want to do that is because at pretty much every other range, you're just going to be... at pretty much any other range, you're just going to be outranged by everybody, right? Ashe, Torbjorn, Ana, you know, whoever, Juno. I mean, not Juno, but you get the gist of what I'm saying here. Okay, you're going to be outranged. The cover is going to be kind of awkward for you, and you're not going to be able to contribute a lot. The high agency way to play the game is to go right side. Okay, don't use flash there for obvious reasons. Flash doesn't stun, okay? And it does like 60 damage. Okay. And now we just have main syndrome. Like right now, after this fight is won, you need to come out of main. You need to start making this rotation. Cass is slow, okay? He's really slow, so you have to think about it ahead of time. Right, because who on your team is going to deal with this Ana? Who can deal with her? The only person on your team who can reasonably deal with this Ana is going to be your Torbjorn, who has range, or it's going to come down to Torb spam killing her, Ana killing her, Kiri can wall climb, and this hook can happen, but all these are like, why even depend on any of these? None of these are going to be reliable. Like killing people from range from here is not going to be reliable at all, right? They have cover, they can come this way, they can come that way, they can just back up and have cover, right? Just go up there and fight them is what this comes down to, right? Don't just stand in main, especially when you have a Torb who already is going to be spamming in main. Take an angle. Actually take a flank, not an angle, sorry. And this is going to feel bad. Why? Because everyone is outraging you, and it's obvious. You only have one option here, is peek. That's it. And then if you come out, you're cooked. What cover do you have? None. That's why you shouldn't really be here as Cassidy. You should be coming here. So if the entire attack is just you making that mistake over and over again, then I think it's just wraps. And because yeah, you're just not gonna be able to contribute is what this comes down to. Yep, so we shoot the D.Va because we have nothing else to do from this angle because it's a really bad angle. And we just don't do enough pressure. The reason why, even though you're doing a ton of damage to the D.Va, the reason why this sucks is because these supports aren't being contested by anybody, okay? So they just heal the D.Va for ad infinitum, okay? So we get nano, and we still can't do anything. Why can we not do anything? Because we're getting outranged by everyone and their dog, okay? Like, we need to get out of main. The Deadeye, honestly, was not ideal. You probably shouldn't have Deadeyed there, but whatever. Not gonna worry about it. Yeah, so I think this is why you just lose on attack, right? We just play this left room for eternity, and we just lose forever. Yeah. Oh, you actually end up winning. But yeah, your mistake was by you playing here, you leave the entirety of the game in your allies' hands. Okay, it's like playing. This is like playing Mercy of Cassidy. It's just sitting here doing nothing. And there's low initiative. Maybe you'll contribute to the outcome, but generally you're just kind of standing around. You needed to make this rotation at some point. It's just what this came down to. But that was the Havana. For you, it's not. Just make sure you're thinking about staging before fights. A lot of what you're doing is just standing in main, and that's never going to help you. Cool. Thank you for the codes. I really appreciate that. Okay, now we're going to look at Oasis from Mo Stacks Snack. This is code AS9VDN. He says, really struggling against dive E comps. I feel like almost all lost fights were because I let myself get dove and overextended. Okay, it is likely. I also got really lost on when to play main and when to off angle. To be fair, I also don't know Oasis well. I probably want to fight left side on second point. Okay. Okay, so we'll cover, who are we? We are Mo Stacks Snack. So on this map, the meta game, I guess, on this map is there's really two options for you. It's going to be roll out. I mean, there's two options for everybody. You can come roll out right side and play here. So typically, if you know, this is more of like the competitive setup that you'll see is people will come right side here and they'll just brawl on point. But a lot of times in solo queue comp, there'll be fights over here as well. So either rollout is fine. It's just going to depend on the situation. One thing I'll mention is that this high ground is generally bad in solo queue. In competitive play, because there's some level of coordination, and because typically in competitive play, Cassidy is pocketed by a Brig or a Lucio or something like that, you can get away with standing up here. But in solo queue, you should basically kind of avoid this high ground if you can. But it's going to be a lot of lane denial, like playing this angle and denying the rotation, as well as playing for this angle and denying the rotation as well. It's going to be more of like denial Cassidy than playmaking Cassidy on this point, in my opinion. Okay, so nice crosshair placement, by the way. We're aiming a little low. I'd like to see you aim a little bit higher, but that's fine. Don't obsess over that. But I think you're aiming fine here. So we are sitting in main. So yeah, so because you're a little bit indecisive here, you use roll when you don't really need to. So you either need to contribute to this and actually decide on that, or go right side and you kind of just do nothing, and as a result you burn roll because of your indecisiveness. So I think that'll probably end up snowballing and be a pretty consistent issue. You just need to pick, right? At the end of the day, I don't really care if you're making a bad decision, as long as you commit to the decision. Okay, that's better than doing nothing. So here you have to use roll, and that gives you a 6-second window where you're free to die. And actually, if you look at that, you almost die because you don't have roll, right? So yeah, so that's gonna be a big issue. Here, play main. Just play main and shoot them. It's fine. Perfect. Okay, we just missed shots. Okay, I would have just flashed, honestly. I think a lot of people give the advice of like, you know, try to bait the blank, whatever. I think most people overthink it. I'm gonna be honest. Like flash here probably would have been too early, but flash here is perfect. Typically the sweet spot is if you get the jump on the tracer, flash instantly. But if you don't, then typically flash after the first blink. It's gonna be your best bet. So here I would have just flashed, right? You would have caught her. Yeah, then we just missed the shot, whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't have fanned there, but that's fine. I like that roll as well. I think that roll is good. Don't commit too heavily to this because you're going to be isolated, okay? And we don't want to take an isolated one typically, especially against Tracer at this range. Now she's low. What? She gets the blink? Okay, how does she get the blink? Okay, it tags her. Okay, whatever. You got robbed there a little bit, but whatever. Yeah, and you almost dying here is why I don't think taking isolated ones was good. I wouldn't even fought her. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's way more to lose. Like the risk reward for this is a lot. It's not really in your favor. You kill her, okay, she just respawns and she's the fastest character in the game. Okay, like it's not. And this isn't On Oasis, this isn't a very important angle, right? It's not that important that you guys control this space or this space, like respectively. She can come up here and flank, whatever. It's not that hard to turn around, okay? But if you just come here and fight her, I think it's losing, and there's the risk reward's not there. Yeah, like I just don't see it. Whatever. Anyway. And I'm not saying don't chase tracers. Sometimes it's good to chase tracers, but in this specific scenario, I don't think it's good. Okay. Yeah, this is good positioning. This is where most Cassidys will play. Is here. Okay, don't Deadeye. This is a blind Deadeye, and it's not like gonna be high impact anyway, because the cover is just, there's too much cover. You don't actually see anybody. You have it in mind that you want to Deadeye through the window, and then you just go for it. Okay, so don't do that. Like, most of the time, in like 90% of situations, you shouldn't blind Deadeye, just jump around a corner and Deadeye. It doesn't work. I've watched like 20, 50 VODs on Cass at this point. Like, 90% of blind Deadeyes are just bad. So I just wouldn't go for that. And then you die because you're in Deadeye. That's what that came down to. Okay. I don't know what happened. I just like lost all the audio. So, what the heck? Maybe I can... After you like died in Deadeye and I lost all the audio. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just keep going through it without the audio, I guess. Oh no, it's back. Okay, that was weird. Okay, we're playing in main. Nice. Come with our team. Okay, wait. Let's slow us down. Okay, here's the Genji matchup. Genji okay, that flash is way too early, okay? Him dashing you is kind of a little crazy here, but you need to chill on the flash, okay? You also need to not throw it directly at him. Here, look, I'm all for just yeeting the flash at Genji's, but this is way too early, okay? Especially because he's in the air, you want him to land and then you flash. If you wanted to flash first, okay? You need him to get out of the air and then flash. But he dashes really early, which I don't probably think is good for him. You need to roll right now. You need to roll because the thing is, he has the jump on you. As in, because you have to turn around. I would have liked you to see you roll backwards because you knew he dashed through you. You could have either rolled backwards through him, or you could have rolled forwards through him after you turn around. Either one. I'd like to see you do that. But you just flash too early, right? And you need to flash the floor, not at him. Because generally that's not going to hit. Okay, don't fan a blocking Doom. That's just a dumb mistake. And then you die. I don't know if you die for that. But you actually die for... Yeah. I think this death was unpreventable. I don't know what you could have done here. I think that... I think playing here is fine. I think that flash is too early. We take a bunch of damage, but we're with our Kiri. And then Doom is here to punish us. You don't have roll. Why do we not have roll, actually? So we don't roll in this fight. We actually roll. Yeah, so you roll late. Honestly, you just got cooked either way. Even if you rolled like I told you to, you still would have died, I think. So whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that one too deeply. The alternative play is to go left side Mega, but whenever you're playing Cass against Dive, it's going to be a lot about playing with your backline. So the reason this is going to feel particularly bad is you don't have a backline, okay? The only people, your supports are a Kiri and a Moira, okay? Do these guys play with the Cassidy ever? Pretty much never, okay? They're never going to be playing with you. Will a Tracer and a Hazard ever be playing with you? No, okay? So as a result, these guys just see you as lunch. Or I guess in your case, a Montana snack, okay? So as a result, you just need to be keeping in mind that you're probably going to die a lot, even with good positioning. But how can you make it expensive? So just trying to like raw mechanical output as well as playing as defensively as possible. So playing further back, maybe you get less value. Like these are against 100% dive and you don't have a backline to help you. It's almost always better to swap. But if you want a one trick, by all means, I'm just telling you, you're naturally walking into a losing matchup just because of how it works, how the macro works out. Okay. So we're shooting in main, chilling. Nice shots. Come right side. So I want to see you play left. Yeah, okay. After we got punished by the Doomfist last fight, I would think to myself, okay, probably playing in that room is not great because I'm going to get isolated and I'm going to get punched in the wall and die. Okay, so I would like to see you play left. Also, this roll is terrible. This is a terrible roll. Keep in mind, never roll forward if you don't have to. You should only roll forward if they're low HP or you're coming back from spawn. Okay, or you're rolling to cover or something like that. Rolling forward toward the enemy is terrible. It's so bad, especially against dive. Okay, because if you get dove and rolls on cooldown, you just keep giving them 6-second windows to die. Okay, so don't do that. Yeah, whatever. I'm not too worried about that. Actually, I wonder if there's a better macro play we had here. So let's look at this. So are we on an angle? Not really. We're kind of playing in main. But we are far from our team. And so is there a better angle we have? Playing this right side, I think, is objectively worse because you're going to be isolated and there's basically no way for you to get help. And it's better for a Doomfist and a Genji and a not so much a Tracer against you, but I just don't think it's good. So it's going to be a matter of playing here or playing here. I think playing here is probably better because this position is going to be more expensive to dive for the enemy team. It's further away, and your backline is here as well. So I think this is fine. This position is fine. I think here, yeah, you just need to have the heads up to see the nade or anticipate getting pulse bombed, and then not say roll. But I don't really blame you that much. I think your macro was fine there. It just kind of came down to that pulse bomb. It was a good play from the Tracer. Okay. Here. She's just gonna TP anyway. Right, chances are she has TP. Yeah, she has TP. I wouldn't roll for this. I don't think... If you are gonna roll for this, I think this rotation is probably just too long. Maybe you roll to... I don't even think you roll for this. I just don't think you roll for this. I think she's gonna TP out either way. Right? Yeah, she's out, and then dude dead. Yeah, this is just a situation where... You should, I mean, you get the headshot on Kiri and it's like, holy moly, I can kill this guy, but she's just too far. She's just too far. She has TP. You don't, at the end of the day, you don't know what resources she had, so you needed to bet I would have just bet she had them and left, honestly. Because, yeah, it's just too far. You're not going to be able to get close enough. Okay. So, on this map, there's two different plays you have. You have left side and right side, of course. Typically, you don't want to roll out main. Because if you come main, you just give up the other angles. So the enemy team can come here, or they can come here, and no one's fighting for those, okay? So you almost never want to roll out main. You want to go left or right, and you pick. In this case, because the enemy team is playing dive, I would just play with my team. Wherever my team goes is where I'm going. Because I don't want to get dove. Because I don't want to be the guy that comes left side against a Lucio speed boosted Doomfist, and I die for no reason off rip, okay? So you want to play with your team, which is what you're doing, which is correct. But honestly, I wouldn't even be coming up top here unless my Doomfist is up top. Because I just don't want to get dove, okay? Because here's the thing. You're up here now. Who's with you? Your Tracer. Okay, that's kind of convenient. But your supports can't help you if you get dove and this guy wasn't 1 HP. So it's kind of fortunate that this Doomfist just took a ton of poke off rip. But I wouldn't even be coming up here right now, I'll be honest. I would just be in main with Naga. Yeah, and then I'd be working left side. Okay. Okay, we're on this right side. So here, once again, I would just be thinking about isolation. Okay, they're playing a little bit slower now. And now that the fights have already like ended and we've seen what comp they're playing, they are playing a little bit of slower comp, right? They're playing a Zenyatta and a Cassidy. So playing isolated now is not as dangerous, but you just keep in mind these guys can kill you in the duel. The thing about the Genji duel, just make sure you prioritize distance, and Doomfist duel is all about distance as well as when he uses, you want to flash him when he uses block, and when he's trying to get out is what it comes down to typically. Okay, so we're playing the angle, roll out, back to cover. Okay, yeah, you're taking a ton of poke. Don't re-peek, okay? At this point, after you give up the space, you don't know how far up they are. For all you know, this Cass could have rolled forward even more. He could have rolled forward and been point blank close. I mean, you can also hear, but like either way, I would not be re-peeking here. I would be giving up space preemptively and just coming back this way. Okay, because fighting for this is just gonna be dangerous. You don't know what you're peeking into. In this case, that Doom could have punched you and one-shot you and you would have died. Okay, so I wouldn't be re-peeking. Come left side, perfect. Now you have the flank. That's nice. Put out lots of pressure. Great job. Yeah, you played the rest of this fight fine. That was actually textbook. Great job. Cool. So now we're resetting. So we're coming back top right. I wouldn't do this personally. I don't think it's good. I think this angle alone as Cass is not really that great because you can get punched off. There's not a lot of ways for you to get help. To get back up here, you have to make a very predictable rotation up the stairs. There's not a lot of cover for you to... I mean, there is this cover. So if you play here, it can be fine. But I just don't like this side of the map for Cass. I think this side is you have a lot more success. The other thing I'll mention as well is if you can prefer flatter sides of the map, you should, because it makes aiming on Cassidy easier. So this adds a lot of verticality to your... And this is super like nitpicky, but I'll just mention it. This right side adds a lot of verticality to your aim, right? There's an angle that you aim downwards to shoot people, which will change as they move closer to you. But when you're here, it's a lot more consistent, right? There are stairs, but it's flatter generally. But I don't like you playing this right side of the map. Also, the other thing about this is it's really hard to rotate out, right? This rotation is really long out from the right side. But if you played over here, this rotation is really easy and simple to make. And it gives you options. You can roll backwards and walk all the way this way. Or you can roll 2-point if you need to. Okay, nice job. See, this is a situation where I think flashing the floor is fine, right? Like, I think a lot of people overthink the Genji matchup with Flash. Here, he deflected and you can predict that he's going to walk forward. Bam. Throw slightly to the side and you flash him, and then he's just cooked. You would have killed him either way. You would have killed him there. That was winning. Okay, I mean, that I was actually clinically insane. So I think the problem here is we're just on the right side of the map. We need to be on the left, I think, because I think even if they are on this right side, against this comp, it's not going to be that important for us to lose it. It's not like and Ash is going there, right? Nothing crazy. I'd rather be here. Here, you would have had to give up space early against the Doomfist, right? And come back out this way. Something like that. But you could at least contest him, right? Sorry, I'm just thinking. I don't know. Maybe I'm being results oriented. I mean, it works out for you. I don't know. I would have been on the left. Either way. It's not like this was bad. I think you just don't get punished, honestly. If they dove you, you were cooked. Who was going to help you? Oh, wait, what happened? Sorry, I missed this whole thing. Oh, yeah, you die in the Deadeye. Okay, and then we come back here. Okay. Okay, here you just don't aim high enough. I actually don't even mind the flash. Just aim higher. Yeah, just aim higher. Okay. Actually, that flash is almost certainly bad. Because the thing is, what would have to happen for you to kill this guy? This guy would have to not walk to cover and just ego you straight up. But there's cover right there. So it's just a bad flash. You're not going to be able to kill him. Yeah, okay, and then we come right side, and, what are we supposed to do here? Yeah, I think you say... Yeah, you even say this on your notes. I probably want to fight left side on second point, and this is just kind of shows you why. I just don't think it's good. I think in coordinated play, you'll watch pros and they'll take this side of the map, but I think in solo queue it's just not good. It gives you less options. There's less rotations out for you to do. Typically... Yeah, I just think the left side's better. The mini. Okay. They keep coming right. Yeah, I think you probably just... Do we lose here? Yeah, we do. And now you're isolated, so... I mean, Doom... Oh, no, he actually kills you. But... If you killed that Doom, it still would have been a bad play. Because you would have just lost that because... Or he would have lost that because he just sucks. Okay. I wouldn't, what are we doing with this Deadeye? Here's the thing. We're stuck here. Why are we stuck here, by the way? We take damage to cast, whatever. We come forward to try to take space. Why do we roll backwards? What are we rolling for? You roll into them, basically, their LOS, and now you deadeye because you're uncomfortable. I mean, you see that he comes wide, but if you really wanted to punish that, you needed to draw earlier. Because he can roll out. I mean, he's got fingers too. You could have also drawn there. that would have worked. But, because you know he doesn't have roll, he just used it. You just saw him use it. Yeah. I think this came down to is when you come right side, there's just not a lot of plays for you to make, right? There's no playmaking happening here. Because this, like, what are you going to do from here? I mean, unless you have tree level aim or Zero level aim or, like, literally any pros level aim, you're not going to be able to do anything. I think you come here, you look for this rotation out, so on and so forth. And I think you have more agency throughout the game. And on first point, I think, honestly, first point, I can't remember really any egregious errors you had. On this Kiri kill, you just kind of got greedy, but I think you played this. I think first point was just not largely unlucky. I'm going to be for real. Largely unlucky. I think you needed to win second, though. Second was definitely winnable. First is probably winnable, but I just don't. I can't remember, honestly, what the mistakes were, so I'm not going to obsess over it. Anyway, thank you for the VOD. That was fun. I enjoyed going through that. Okay, now let's go through, what map is this? Blizzard World from our friend Mostack Snack once again. He said, this was an insane match, actually insane. I clutched how long is this match? 20 minutes. Okay, this is going to be long review. I clutched so hard by C9ing. I had very good stats, and I felt like I played overall well. Good mechanics, good off angles. Yet we somehow always quickly lost to team fights. Okay, that makes me think you weren't actually high impact on the angle, or you were late. Or something like that, and ended up losing the whole game. I probably spent too much time on rotations. Yeah, probably. Or it was just me not knowing the map. Kind of first map where I like the fundamentals I had. Okay, cool. You'll find one of the most disgusting plays you've ever seen in that game. It's so amazing. Okay. Cool. We'll take a look. So, first thing to look at, team comp. Okay, also don't stand on the floor here, but I'll get in that in a second. Team comp. We have double hit scan. So whenever you're running double hit scan, generally you are going to be the person on the off angle. Okay. Unless it's going to kind of depend, right? If your other guy's a soldier, let me take a step back. When you're playing as Cassidy in general, it is extremely important to know who your other DPS is, because that is going to determine not only who it is, but how they're playing, because that's going to determine how you play. You don't typically want to double up. And you want to play, of course, in your range, but try to take angles when you can, go for flanks when your guy's playing main, take risk, so on and so forth, right? So just always be aware where your enemy or your ally DPS is. And then the rest of your comp is going to be BAP, what's your name? Juno, Sigma. So you have a very pokey comp that can live quite a lot. So it's going to be about poking, not taking too much damage, and just chilling, okay? So the problem with this angle, how do you rotate out? What's the rotation out from this angle? I mean, the fight hasn't started yet. They're not even like at choke, but even playing here in general, the rotations are brutal. They're brutal. Like what you'll see is most of the time, teams will just kind of give up this first area and fight here or something like that. Or you should really be staging on this high ground and then looking to make this rotation back to point and around like this. Or playing on the floor here or something like that. Like playing on the floor next to statue, it's just there's so much room for error. You can get dove, you can get outranged. There's just a lot of issues. So we're trying to play with our Sigma, sure. Oh, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to skip that. Now that we see Monkey, we should be like, okay, I need to not get super greedy here. Why are we rolling? Why are we rolling, dude? Stop doing this. It's so bad. Breaking this is not that important. Okay, it's not so important we need to commit our roll for it. Yeah, it even breaks anyway. Yeah, we need roll to get out here from this super aggressive position. Our Sigma dies. Now we don't have roll to get out. Against better players, we die there. I'm gonna be real. But you do make the right rotation. You roll to the cave. There's also a mega in that cave, so you can use that as well. Okay, and then it's just kind of lost, I think. Maybe not. Can we win the micro? Okay, let's look at this duel. What's the problem? Nice kill on the Juno. Whoops. Okay, so I guess we're going back in time even further. We reswing here, which is actually perfect. This is really good macro and rotation, by the way. This is a great job. This is a lot of stuff you want to be able to do on cast, is take these angles and swing right side. And this is why I said earlier, you'll see a lot of players come right side here. They'll start top. So what you should have done is started top, and as they push up, you want to give up the space. You typically don't want to fight for it. You want to give up the space, rotate out, and try to shoot them from behind here. Or what you can also do is you can give up the high ground, come mega room, and do the same thing from this angle, right? So once they push up, you'll just kind of swing wide like this and shoot them in the back. Either one, right? You also can just play main and play aim demon. It's just going to depend on the situation, but you know, that's how you'll play first point generally. So here, I think your issue really is that you just kind of roll wide for no reason. That's what this comes down to. So we kill the Juno. Here you just kind of roll wide. I can kind of see why you're trying to like get on the other side of the pillar to headshot her, but it just sets you up for failure. If you were really going to commit to this, what you needed to do is roll forward and then flash is what you needed to do. Not this play. Because now it's just you're leaving this in the hands of aim, okay? And generally, if we can make the duel unfair, we should. Okay, and then we go for this rat play. I'm down for it. But you're getting flanked. Yeah, like we need to do that, basically, to social earlier. And then you need to roll through him. You know he's going to swing the corner. You need to roll through him and then basically bamboozle him and try to kill him with the fan or something. I would have been, like in this situation, I would have been okay with a point blank fan, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, so I think you just had the macro issue. You set up too close to the statue. I don't think it's good. You should be staged on the high ground. But I think everything else was largely fine. That Sojourn duel could have been better, but okay. Shoot the monkey, I guess. Okay. So here, just be aware that there is this angle that exists. If your team is holding this choke, this angle is really strong because you have this flank and you can shoot them in the back. So just keep that in mind. Okay, like here, I would be coming off main. Yeah, I think your team is here. Oh yeah, your Reaper's about to come back. I would be looking for this angle right now. To be honest, I'd be looking for that angle. Okay. Okay, yeah, we would have been able to capitalize on this pretty well from the left mega, but we play main. This is fine. Now we take the angle, surely? Yeah, nice. Now it didn't really matter that much. I'd still stay here. I wouldn't come back to main. I would actually just, whoops, I would actually just stay on the angle. Okay, shoot the Lucio, sure. Okay, now they're playing Sigma. So against Sigma, I would be a little bit more hesitant to take the angle because he can poke me out from there. Rather than like against a monkey, it's not that bad because you can anticipate the jump. And it's also awkward for a monkey to jump here. Like this rotation out is not very easy for a monkey to catch you on. So I wouldn't be worried about that against him. Okay, so we play this top right side here. Okay, I don't know what you're doing. This is not going to pan out for you. Okay, you'd have to be lip god aim for this to really pan out and be worth it. The problem is the rotation out is really expensive. Or it's really long. Oh, actually your Reaper's playing with, holy cow, my keyboard. Your Reaper's playing with you, which is very fortunate, but the rotation out here is really long. It's easy to get caught out here. As Cassidy, I just really, unless your whole team is playing up, I would not be playing here, I'm gonna be honest. I just think there's a lot more room for error. Yeah, so you get rocked. Now you have to walk back. Dude, okay, don't roll into them in Deadeye. Bro, what? Dude, be for real, actually. Okay, if you wanted to Deadeye here, you need to roll to the right, roll to the right. Roll this way in Deadeye is what you needed to do. Not roll into them in Deadeye. That's insane. What are you doing? Oh my god. And yeah, I mean, you end up being in beam, which is good, but you can't convince me this is better. I don't think it's better. Yeah, this panned out, but I think it's on average this is not good. I don't think I want to be playing now. I'd be playing this high ground now. It's good. Because why is it good? Your Sigma's right here and your Reaper's right here, so you have two people that are basically like gigantic sandbags in front of you that you can stand behind and be bulletproof. Okay, I don't know about this lift, bro. Okay, this is a little greedy for standing still, because while you're shooting this guy turned, they can come around and shoot you. So that, like, we can just kind of look at it from here. Like, if at any point, so this comes through, you shoot the Sojourn. If at any point someone peeked, you were just basically standing still. Okay, so I would just be a little, I don't think it's the end of the world, but I do think it's something to think about in that situation, because your back is to the rest of the enemy team. I actually don't mind you taking the 1v1 with Sojourn even with your back against the enemy team, because I think it's very skewed into your favor, but that's what I would mention about that. How do we use roll? Here you could have just dropped, I'm gonna be honest. But whatever. Yeah, I think you die here because you just don't have roll. Oh no. Yeah, you're dead. You're just dead. Yeah, but this is kind of the problem with playing on the high ground, is all the rotations suck, right? You need to look. I understand you're trying to commit to the Sojourn, but you need, like, the only way to get out is to rotate this way. It's like to roll out that way. But we just don't do that.
This ends now.
Okay. Okay, we're coming back from spawn. Sorry, I'm sending a text message right now. Okay, sorry. Sorry, gentlemen. Let me go back, because I missed everything that just happened. Okay, we come back from spawn. Yeah, you don't want to be on the floor. You want to be coming... You want to be setting up, so that's going to be either coming left side or coming up this right stairs and looking to play this single. Either one. So we come right side, and you can infer that Sojourn is isolated. You can't hear anybody else, and you also saw people rotating left. So going for this fight is fine. I like that. Good job. You're standing still and shooting her. Great. We just roll off. Whatever happens. Needed to stay up there. Now we get out. We're stuck on the bush. Yeah, just don't roll off. You were fine. Yeah, you made the right play. Just don't roll off. Okay, point is lost. Whatever. Damn, you guys... Oh, I guess you did get fights there. Okay, yeah, left side on defense is not that great. Just for range reasons, so you should typically just be playing right and shooting. I like this flank. Great. Don't die. That's so unfortunate, actually. Wow, that's unfortunate. Well, actually, what do you get booped by? Oh, just literally boop. Yeah, good flank. Just don't deadeye. The reason deadeye is bad here, you are on a flank, but you're really close to the enemy team. And you just happen to be next to the abyss. Okay. So, I like the flank, and you could have actually got more value if you just didn't deadeye. So you kind of just threw there, honestly. But, generally good macro. Okay. Shoot the May. Okay. Ban the shield. I'm down for that. Nice flash. Nice job. Oh my goodness. Good crosshair placement for a headshot. Okay, we're looking for the Sigma. Okay, once he's in suck, what are you going to do? Just turn for the May? Yeah. Okay, well, May died. Then we go right to it. Cool. Nice job. Okay, I want to see you stage. Where do we want to be? We want to be top? Sick. Good job. Good decision. I would actually be more aggressive than this. I would be playing... Whoops. Keep hitting the wrong key. I'll be here. I'll be looking for this angle. Ideally. Okay, now we're just in main. Yeah, I wouldn't... If someone's dead, I mean, you can go for the left flank if you want and try to trade out. But you were kind of close enough to being able to rotate out that I probably would have rotated out myself. Right, like no fight is happening here. If there was a fight going on, then I can understand you trading out. But there's not really that much of a fight. This guy got picked, so I'd try to rotate and kite. And yeah, you don't end up committing to the flank, so I wouldn't be surprised if you're too late on this rotation now and die. Yeah, so that was your mistake. So you needed to identify here that there's no fight happening. So let's just watch it happen, okay? So you think to yourself, I actually don't want to be top this fight. Sure, okay? I can get behind that. So then you rotate to this left side. Your Ashe dies early, okay? So there's no fight happening. So now you should be like, crap. I'm not going to be able to go in time to trade out. There's no fight happening. Let me just back up now and just wait for her to come back alive, okay? But you don't really make that decision, and then you don't commit to the flanks. You make like the worst decision of both worlds. You needed to do one or the other, okay? And you chose nothing. And then as a result, when you do choose to make this rotation right, every decision you could have made at this point is just too late. It's just what it kind of comes down to. You missed your window, and then you get caught out and die, okay? So that was the problem there. Okay. Come on left side. Yeah, left's gonna be your best play. And then there's just nothing to do. Yep. So that was your mistake. I think this goes into double OT or OT, I guess. Okay, so coming left, I don't mind. So, but I don't roll out left. So rolling out left is generally only good when you know the enemy tank is playing here. And the reason why is when the enemy tank is playing here, there's not a lot you can do to contribute to the state of the fight. And the best way for you to do so is to come up the staircase on this left side and shoot them from behind. Either this way or this way. The reason you don't really want to come left side is because all the rotations from here, even if you own this space, right? Even if, and let me just make a diagram here, I guess could be the best way to do this. Even if your team owned all of this space here, like this, or sorry, not all of this actually. Hold on, and actually let me zoom out a little bit more so I get a better picture. So, and then let me do N. Cool. Okay. Even if your team owned all of this space here, like this, how do you rotate? Okay. I mean, you can kind of see it unravel here. Enemy team owns this. You own the yellow. What's your rotation to like do anything? Well, the only thing you really have is to come this way, and there's no cover when you do this, right? There's like a pillar here you can stand behind, but it's really long, and they have all the LOS on you totally. The rotation you have to make, like, so as a result, you don't want to play on this side of the map as Cassidy generally, because it leaves the game in the palm of your hands of your tank. You need your tank to engage here, and then you can try to make this rotation on timing. But even then, being on the flank here is just not that great for Cassidy. It's just really not that great. What you really want to do is you want to, on timing with your tank engage, or just in general, come out the door on main like this, and then come straight to this right side, and then walk around and fight in this building. Because in this building, you can drop down the stairs and go to the mega room, and then go flank like all the way around them. Like, you have a bunch of options, or you can just shoot from main or whatever. But if you come left side, you don't have any of that. Okay. The other rollout you have, and it's important to know, is that you can actually stand behind this hay bale. You can stand here, and if you just roll tech, you'll land on this ledge, and you can come this way as well. That's only useful if they're not here. That's if they give up the high ground. It just makes the rotation faster. You can also do a roll tech off there's a box here you can do it on. There's this box you can do it on as well, and it'll put you up top. But it's a lot more inconsistent than using the hay bale, so I use the hay bale more. Okay, but that's generally the macro here. So I don't like you rolling out bottom left, personally. Because then you're more often than not just going to get stuck here. So that maid dies because she's bad, not because you're good. Okay, and now you need to understand that. This May should not be here. This May playing here makes actually no sense. I think her idea is that she can like, there we go. Her idea is maybe she can like wall them, and then the enemy Ryan can pin. But if they wanted to do that, the Ryan should have been on the floor. Okay, like the May's just a moron. Okay, so the results here aren't going to be consistent with the rest of your Blizzard World games. Good flank. This is a really good flank. You saw the Ryan pin left side. No one on your team is flanking, so you're going to have super high value here. You're using roll to commit to this, but I think timing is really important, so I actually don't mind that. And you have flash off cooldown. This is good. Yeah, we just needed to kill somebody is what that kind of came down to. So why did no one die? So we rolled the angle, aiming too low. Yeah, so by the time you turn the corner and you look at someone, you're just aiming too low. And you body shot the Cass. And then everyone turns from you, but you live. And, you know, there's high value. Because I think, let's look at this in terms of the macro. I think this flank was good. Let's look at actually what the results of that were. They all turn. Ryan gets no help. And there's no pressure, so your Sig is actually able to come wide here. And now the entire team backs up. So because you made that play, you just made a gajillion space for your team. You made a gajillion space. Even if you died here, living here was the most important part. So I think probably. If we want to like think about how we can maximize this, which you should have done. Rolling to the angle, probably fine. Probably fine, not gonna worry about it. But here, once you don't get a kill immediately, like you don't 2-tap someone basically, you need to give up the angle faster. I'm gonna be honest. Because it's just too close, right? In terms of raw proximity, it's just too close. If you were, I mean, then there's no world where you're this wide, because then you have no cover. But yeah, you're just kind of too close to them, so I would have just like swung for the 2-tap. If I don't get it, all right, I'm out. Because if you died there, it would have been really bad. Okay, and then yeah, the fight was basically won after they lost all that space. It's really hard to retake against Sig like that. Okay, we're not the guy on cart, thank God. Oh my goodness. Okay, great 2-tap. So come wide. Look at this. You see that crosshair placement? That's the crosshair placement you should have had when you went for the other flank. And because you have good crosshair placement here, another great example of why crosshair placement is so important on this hero. Okay, because you have good crosshair placement as you turn this corner, you're basically already on head level with the soldier, and you just have to hit one flick up as he jumps, and it's game over. So nice shot. And then you get another headshot on Cassidy, right? Okay. It's fine. Come back to the angle. Perfect. There, you could have thought about a Deadeye because you have cover. And the thing that would have been nice here about a Deadeye is, and I'm not saying this is optimal, but this is just, maybe I would have done this, is this Deadeye here, you have cover. You can swing to the left. Like what you can do is pop Deadeye here, wait for sleep to come out, and then just dodge it. But it'll force this Rhine to back up like all the way. Your Sig is low, which I didn't actually know, but it would have forced them to give up all this space, and your team can take it. So that would have been good. Yeah, it would have given your team an opportunity to W key. I think that, yeah, but here it's just worse. Now you're in the open. That cast dies because he's an idiot. Actually, is he an idiot, or did we see him roll? He rolled there. Alright, whatever. Yeah, I would have dead-eyed earlier, honestly. Oh, that sucks. We don't kill the Ana. Yeah, when I was here, I don't think I would have rotated right side. I think I would have either stayed in main or rotated left. I mean, the rotation is long, but we're already in a spot where we're not going to be able to contribute to the state of the fight. Like, I would have just went super high risk, high reward. Go for the late rotation. Because it's like, what are we... You're going straight into a Reinhardt. What are we reasonably going to be able to do? Not very much. Yeah, I would have rotated to the top left there. While I was backing up that far. Because then I can shoot the on in the back. I can try to make it like a late play. Okay, so we flux. You need to go left. Perfect. I think this rotation is fine. That Lucio just needs to die. That Cass needs to die. Perfect. Come left. Nice kill. So here, just live. You're already up. Just live. Okay. This is too wide. You're going too wide. Just come like here. All you need to do is just shoot them. Where does this Ana have to go? She has to go even further back, right? She needs to run away from the rest of your team. So she has to come this way at some point. So you just stand here and shoot her as she makes that rotation out, bro. Like, don't go super wide. Like, I know you want to go to the high ground eventually, but that's eventually, not you shouldn't go there right now. Like, better players can kill you here. Okay, so this, you could have thrown this whole upcoming fight by dying here because you went for this play. That was a mistake. Yeah, and you force your Moira off cart as well because you do that. Which could have results. Like, that could have a tangible impact on the game. I like this. I like this a lot. Roll, roll, roll. Yeah, I would have rolled. So here. Flash. I get boop. I want to get closer to him so I can just fucking... Whoops. Main curse about. Just so I can just delete him, okay? Even a fan here would have been fine. Just roll point blank and fan. Is what I would have done. Like, fanning people at 1 HP is fine. It's totally fine. But we need to win that, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, this rotation I would not make. This rotation is really long, and even when you finish making the rotation, the high ground is not that good. How useful is this high ground? Nah, it's not really useful. I can maybe shoot the Sigma in the bat, but like this is just gonna be good enough. And also this has cover, and my Moira is already here. So this is just a map knowledge thing. I think this high ground just kind of sucks in this situation. Yeah, okay, so we're here. Yeah, I would have just been bottom contributing to the tank trade, honestly. Okay, but we're already up top, whatever. Now that we're all the way over here, it's quite good. Also, why does nothing happen? Why do we not have a fight happen whenever we make this rotation? Our Reaper dies. Yeah, why does everyone else not die? What actually happens here? Oh, they're coming back from spawn. The weak height. Our BAP is on the high ground now. Maybe the rotation's good. Maybe it's good. I don't know. I think it is good. I think that is actually better to rotate. Because now you have this dead eye. You should dead eye on the angle. Yeah, you should have dead eyed there. Because you could have caught the Ana and stuffed them, and then the Rhine will have no help. Okay, and then your Sigma can just W key, and then just rock him or whatever is probably a good play. But I guess your Reaper is coming back, so maybe it's not a good play. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, it probably is a bad play. Damn, I'm getting all this wrong. I think deadeyeing there would be bad because your Reaper's not back. There's not an easy way for your Sigma to push. I think the proximity is fine. You're fine in terms of range. I think the Lucio would have been point blank against you, but I think it would have been fine. Okay, then we just... Because we rotate back, we die. Yeah, here I think you were trying to get healing. You know, dude, you can hear him come to you. Like, bro. You need to fight, bro. Yeah, you need to just fight him there. Even if you died, I think it's better. Okay. Yep, yeah, I like this. I like coming bottom. Don't I wouldn't even crouch. I would just come up, walk. Nice kill. Okay, I would have dead-eyed like way earlier. I wouldn't have gone for the Ana kill, honestly. I probably would have come here. I saw the Ana drop, but I would have been coming top and dead-eyeing here. I think this would be a lot more valuable. Because it's going to force all of them off high ground. Unless they land like Helix 10 headshots on me, I think I'm not going to die. That's a fine play as well. This roll backwards is... Like, I would be thinking about going up top this whole time. Like, I wouldn't be playing on the ground. Like, here, you needed to make the rotation up top. Man. Everything that I'm saying you do is like, you're getting results from not doing that. So maybe I'm just bad. I don't know. He has the rock stun perk. That guy was stunned for like 4 seconds. Okay. About 8 minutes left on this. So on Blizzard World 3rd, it's going to be, you have 2 options. You have just play main, really. You're going to be looking for this angle and this angle, really, is what you're looking at. Or just playing your main and contributing to the tank trade. There's a bunch of different ways to play it. Or you can just kind of suicide right flank, either one. I don't think you really need to because you're playing Reaper and your Reaper can do that. But it's an option. Like here, maybe go for it. I don't know, you're already right side. Yeah, your Reaper's dead, so rotate out. Okay, then we go for left side flank, cool. Shoot the Lucio. Okay, they're pushing us, so we leave. Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah, we gotta just contribute to the fight. Yeah, not a lot to do there. The only thing we could have done is you could have realized that they stopped chasing you and gone back. Just like that would have been your best play. So here you should have heard that they're not coming to fight you. Oh, he actually pins in. Is actually what happens. So yeah, you actually make the best play. You make the best play. Do you hear that? Yeah, you can hear him pin towards you. Yeah, never mind. You made the best play. Because if you walk back, you're cooked. He's got this 2 speed boost too. It's over. So I don't think you had a better play. Could have shot him maybe a little bit earlier, but whatever. I don't think you could have done anything this fight. Okay. Kill the Cass. Here, Deadeye. You could have dead-eyed there. Break Rhine shield. Yeah, like here if you dead-eyed, he would have been lifted. You would have broke Rhine shield. You also probably wouldn't have gotten slammed because you'd been further away. So I would have just dead-eyed earlier. That's funny. If you had flash, you would have saved him. What do we use flash on? I'm not opposed to this Deadeye, by the way. I just wanted you to use Deadeye earlier. Yeah, also just like, what, you're not going to kill him. Like, what's the point of this flash? Like, flash is still a good ability. Like, you shouldn't just be throwing it. Of course, when you're in a 1v1, you can just kind of throw it. But in terms of just like raw macro in the game, don't just throw it for no reason, okay? Because here, you could have actually maybe saved... You could have stopped the Rhine pin in the middle of the animation and saved your Reaper. I mean, he doesn't end up dying because Rhine doesn't hit a wall, but in alternate universe, he does die. Okay, we go for the right side play. Cool. I'm down for this. Yeah, I would still wait. I would wait, and then I would go. I'd still be looking to the wall right now. It's crazy that Lucio comes to mark you. Oh, well, the one thing to keep in mind is you're still kind of loud even when you're crouching, okay? Oh, look, it looks like you're just gonna rotate here anyway. But cool. It's good that you don't commit to that. Oh, wow. What is he doing? This Lucio's throwing. That was a terrible play from Lucio. I think he tried to boop you off. He got greedy. But yeah, now we just go. We just go. Nice kill. Just straight deadlift. Yeah, you deadlifted that. Nice job. We love to see that. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so you're staging here for another flank. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. In this situation, I mean, I wouldn't do this personally because if you swing out to, there's an issue of timing here, but also this fight is just kind of good for you in main in terms of just like raw neutral. You just do a lot of damage, and for the defenders, when they come out, there's no cover, and you have a lot more stuff to work around. You have this angle. I feel like there's unnecessary risk with taking this. I'm not like super against the idea. I think there's a lot of merit to it. But yeah, like our Reaper just died. Like we could have been in main doing any kind of pressure. Yeah, like the entire state of this fight was out of our hands. So I wouldn't have done this flank personally. Okay, but you get the C9. Yeah, this is honestly lucky. I'm gonna be honest. Like the Lucio shouldn't be fighting you. The Ana dying there is reasonable because she didn't expect her Lucio to die. But this is I wouldn't bet on this, okay? Maybe try it in a couple more games and see if you have success. Because I don't really play like this on this third point last fight. But if you find success doing it, then let me know. But I just don't think it's a great play, objectively. I think playing in main is going to be better and more consistently give you results there on third. But that was crazy, by the way. Good job. Okay, here... Don't fan from this distance. I'd rather you just shoot him, honestly. Fanning is good, but like at this distance, I'd rather just shoot him. Okay. Yeah, like if you were where the Moira is right now, maybe fan him, but this is kind of too far. Okay. Yeah, and this is the thing about this position, right? Like just kind of notice. You don't really do anything here. It's all your tank just takes space and that's it, right? There's no initiative being made. Like if your tank was dog, you would have just lost. Like there's no other play. So I think you can open here if you think your tank is good, will take space, but I think going right is going to be better. Okay, I would. So what, bro? Come on. Reaper butchered his TP. Actually, that would be a good Reaper quality of life change, is being able to cancel the TP. That'd actually be quite good. But he butchered his TP and just gets pinned. But also, I think you needed to identify that your Reaper is already on the flank here and you need to come left side. Yeah, your Reaper's already here. I'd rather you come left and contribute to the state of the fight on the left here. Like, you could be coming wide because your Reaper just did some suicide play. You could have been coming wide right now with your Sigma and punishing them for punishing the Reaper. But because you doubled up on the angle, there's not a lot you can actually contribute. Yeah, so I think that was your mistake. Also, the thing to mention is if you went right side, like I've been talking about, like if you went main and you roll teched off this hay bale here, Jesus, if you roll teched off this hay bale here up top, you would have had the option to come here, and then you would have had this play, which would have been pretty good, even with the Reaper, or you could have made this play, which would have been even better. So that's why I like the right side. But yeah, you needed to identify that the Reaper was already taking the angle and go left with your Sigma. Okay. Play here. I don't really like this because your rotation out is going to be long. I understand the fight's not start yet, but your rotation out of this is just going to be really long and you'll have no covering. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, aiming for the Cassidy. No headshots. Unfortunate. Our Ashe, how's our Ashe die? What's she doing? Yeah, she's also playing on the floor. Like, it's just so dumb. I don't know why this guy's doing this. He should be on top. He should be on top. But your Ashe dies. That's out of your control. And then we play in main. Okay, break shield. Rotate out. You need to go 2 point, not wide. Okay, rolling. I would not roll forward there personally because his whole team is right there. The chance of him dying here is like honestly pretty low. It's unfortunate that he dies, but I wouldn't have rolled forward there personally, but it works out for you. Go for the flank. I would not what's the word? I would not commit to this too deeply. Like you go wider than I would. I would go here because I understand that if they turn for me, I'm fried because no one's helping me. Okay, I'm not gonna get any help. So I would be get ready to rotate out. Yeah, and you also don't have roll. Okay. Yeah, just need to kill the Mei. Yeah, I mean, I think the mistake here is we're just not in a good position to be able to do anything, okay? Like, here, you needed to be here where your BAP is and fighting this the whole time, okay? And then if they start pushing up this way, you can either rotate to fight them, which generally you won't unless you have your tank, but when they do push you, you just drop, okay? And then you come wide right side and shoot them. Or you come play the Mega Room and you shoot them in the back as they push the point, right? You have options. But starting here is just not ideal. And then I think on killing this Ryan is very fortunate. Of course, we can do better mechanically. I think your macro in this play is fine, but you just kind of come a little too wide. Yeah, like you could have died here. I think probably, even though this rotation is like very lucrative, I think probably the best play, because you know you're down one, right? You know you're down Ashe. Your better play is probably just play main. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's probably just play main. Maybe not. Because you could have killed someone on the flank too. I don't know. I think it's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. I think it's probably fine. Yeah, you just kind of lose on defense. I think you needed to win elsewhere. I think your first defense needed to be better, and you needed to not be on the ground. I think your second. I think a lot of this game is fine, honestly. I think a lot of it is fine. I think on average you win this game. I think I can't remember exactly everything that was going on, but I think if you made some small changes and maybe were a little bit more consistent mechanically, you would have won. But okay, I hope that was helpful. I can't remember everything about that to kind of run a recap, but that should be helpful enough for you. Okay, and then we're gonna run a review for Organic on, or Envy is his name, on Runasapi. Runasapi is generally a good Cassidy map because the ranges of all the gunfights are just good and there's a lot of cover for you to work around. He said, I was practicing crosshair placement as I went into this game, so it might be a bit on and off since I have a really hard time focusing on crosshair placement for some reason when I am playing compared to other things like CAR, okay? Cover angle range. And then timing is the extension of that. This match was kind of weird. Like, I made a lot of stupid mistakes, but I only realized them once I've made them. And this is a common occurrence with me. But I think this code would be good enough for you to figure out what is the next fundamental thing I should work on next. Okay? Obviously, learning positioning is a never-ending journey, so maybe there's still my major issue. And I want help specifically on whatever fundamental mistake I'm making. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention is I die a lot. I average 7.79 deaths per 10. Okay, cool. In lower ranks, I mean, as you try to get better at the game, you're just gonna die more, but okay, let's just go. Okay, we roll forward. We're coming to right side with our team. Okay, we'll look at the team comp real quick. So, ally team comp, we got Echo. Echo is more of a flanker, so we're going to want to try to emphasize playing in main more often when we can. And then we have a Juno, Zen. So, we have a relatively fragile backline, and then we have a monkey tank. So, this is going to be just a lot of like typical casts. Lots of pros and cons to this team comp. I'm not going to obsess over it. But, okay, we're playing main. I like the skin, by the way. Look in the air. Okay, I like the flank. Okay, let me slow this down a little bit. Okay, so we come wide here. I like the flank a lot. I think you go a little wide, but honestly, I think the macro there is pretty fine. Also, if we look at crosshair placement, what do we think? We're aiming. Where are we aiming? Not at the ground, which is good. Yeah, we have good crosshair placement. That's perfect. Great job. You kill her because of crosshair placement. So good job. Nice. Aiming at the D.Va. Okay, we come wide here. So I think just keep in mind D.Va is like probably your hardest counter in the game. And if you take an angle that's too deep, you're going to get punished. Okay. And you're also, if we just look at the enemy team comp, they have a Sojourn Mercy who's going to be pocketed. So, and then they have a Hanzo. So, and then they have Kiri. So we're pretty much always going to get outranged. So against situations like this, where you're going to get outranged, it's all about trying to find flanks, trying to find timing, but also just trying to take little damage from poke and just taking advantageous duels, right? Like in this situation, you were taking a ranged gunfight, but you had the flank, right? You had to jump on them with the surprise. So you were able to catch somebody. So it's just gonna be a matter of leveraging that and just not taking a ton of damage when you don't have to. Nice. We roll out because of the D.Va. Okay, this is fine. Aiming at the floor a little bit, aiming a little low, but that's fine. Shoot the D.Va. We're coming main, gonna come right side. Okay, I personally wouldn't come right side because you know what, it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Okay, our monkey dies. And then we kill the Sojourn. Great shots, by the way. Kill the D.Va. Nice shots. Oh my goodness gracious. Who is this guy? Actual ego VOD here. Nice job. Good kills. Oh, did we get an ace? No! We almost get an ace. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't have died there. I know you wanted the 5k, so maybe it's good for your morale, but I don't think the Deadeye was good there. You don't need the kill. And she's the only one alive, and you weren't under immediate threat. But great job. Great mechanics, man. I love to see that. I would get more hype, but it's super late. This is like toward the last couple of VODs I'm doing today. And it's 11 p.m. here. Okay. Shoot the Hanzo. Okay, so I wouldn't play here. So this angle is like, you would think it's good for Cassidy because of the range. You have a flank on them. But the problem is it's really isolated. It's like really isolated, and the rotation out is bad. This rotation out is quite bad. You can get caught in a lot of different fights. So if you play here, it's generally in a situation where you're going to die here. Okay, you're playing to someone is going to die here type of situation. So I typically try to avoid this left flank and just play main. You'll be surprised. It's actually quite good because at some point they have to drop to contest the bot. And this neutral fight here is actually quite good for you. This window is just at the very edge of your fall off drop, but it's not that bad, I'm gonna be honest. So being here is really easy to get punished, especially against D.Va, right? No one on your team is going to be able to help you get out. Yeah, like there's just that angle's just not good. It's just not good. It's something you learn through experience. It really just comes down to it's an isolated angle. It's far away. It takes a lot of setup, and the rotation out is not good either. Like, you could have had a lot more impact by playing in main. You could have deterred that D.Va dive that killed your Zen. Like, let's go look at it real quick. Like, so this D.Va dives in deep. That's a alliteration for you. So what we would be doing right now is playing with our Echo, shooting this D.Va, and then as she dives in like this, we rotate back, and then this diva probably would have gotten demeched because she was discorded and with the Zen as well. So we would have saved our Zen and probably demeched her. I don't know if we would have saved Zen, but we'd at least demect the diva. And we wouldn't have died, more importantly. So I think that's kind of what that comes down to. It's a very tangible difference in the outcome of this game. So I think that was your mistake there. Here, yeah, just don't. There's no flank going to be happening against D.Va. You really don't want to look to make these kind of plays, especially when you can hear her, because she can hear you. Okay, so she's just gonna fly at you. You have no mobility, and you're just dead. You're cooked. So I would have just. You should have just gone main. I like the idea. I mean, and it's good you're thinking about these things, but it's just the matchup. Okay, against the D.Va matchup. Generally, you don't want to go for deep flanks, especially when she's right next to you. Sometimes you'll do it on timing when you have the opportunity, but this was not one of them. Here, you don't want to play the window. Why do we not want to play the window? We don't want to play the window because of this hero, okay? If this diva dives us in the window, we are fried, okay? So generally, you're just gonna want to play main again, okay? We're just playing here. And this is also an issue of if you do play the window, it's good on paper. Okay, I would be so for this if they were playing a Orisa, okay, or a Ram or something like that. But they're playing a diva who can punish you easily, and the issue is you're isolated from your team. You're going to be the only guy on the angle, and no one's going to be able to help you. Also, your team's not back yet. They're still coming back from spawn. So I would rather you be in main right now. Yeah, and you die precisely for that reason, right? I mean, it ends up being the Sojourn and the Hanzo that kill you, but this just kind of comes down to an issue of isolation. You're the only person here on the angle and no one can help you. So I'd rather you be against a very punishable comp, which ends up being the Sojourn in the Hanzo. If we look at the micro of the play, what it also comes down to is, so wait, what? Is this one, did I go too far back? Where am I? Okay, so let's look at the micro of the play. So we do peek, but you just come really wide, okay? Or you miss the timing on the Sojourn who comes up here, and then you don't even come that far out. But it's just kind of bad timing, okay? Your Echo's here, but your tank's not back yet, or he is back, but he's not fighting, right? He's back, but he's not fighting anybody. He's just playing defensively, and they have nothing else to look at, really, other than you guys. So, and that's why you end up dying. So the micro actually wasn't even that bad. It's more of a timing issue. Like there's no fight happening, right? If you're gonna go for a flank like that, like a closer angle like that, you need a fight to be happening for that to make any real sense. Okay. Okay, we shoot the Kiriko. Yeah, like we have so much more. I mean, this is a little bit of a different situation, but we're just in main, and you can kind of see, like, all these fights are generally going to be good for Cassidy in main. So don't be afraid to play main on Runasapi in particular. I used to be very pro, like some of my old Runasapi VODs, I used to be really pro, like, off angle, take the deep flanks. But as I've played this map more, I've really started to understand the value of playing main on this. And that's a lot of why. If you watch pro play on Runasapi, it's a lot of brawl comps and it's a lot of Cassidy because the neutral in the mains is quite good. And you do have the flank options as well, but you know, generally just playing in main is enough value in coordinated play at least. Okay. Come here, I like this. I would not Deadeye, okay? So I like the, you know, you take the Deadeye on a flank, but the problem is they're not in the open. There's cover to their left. Like, if they were, instead of right there, if they were right here, maybe I would be down for that. But even then, they could go this way, right? Like, they would need to be in the open, like in the air type situation for this Deadeye to make any sense. You're just not going to be able to catch them with a Deadeye. So, yeah. I like you on the flank, though, right? The diva, you don't hear the diva. She's not near you. Now she's demeched. I don't mind you taking this fight, rolling out when it's losing. Perfect. You get stuck on the rock. I think you just get stuck. Yeah, here you just needed to. That's fine. You know, from a micro standpoint, maybe we can kill her better. Or yeah, but you get stuck on that rock and then you just kind of get screwed. Yeah, we needed to keep going to that room. Honestly, I think that's the only play you had. I don't mind that. But that's another. Oh, geez, sorry. That's another issue of like isolation as well. But you know, as I said, I think that play was largely fine. Okay. So we come out, fight the. See, so now you get marked by Diva. If you're getting marked by Diva or she's aware where you're at, you don't really want to play there anymore. Yeah, so this is just, you're not respecting the Diva matchup. Diva is a really hard counter to you. And this is why against Diva, you generally want to prefer playing main. Because when she dives you, you can't win. You can't win when she has DM. Okay. So here we are in main. Yeah, okay, so we're just like perma flanking when we don't need to. Okay. So this is another issue of your comp, right? Your comp, I mean, your Echo ends up playing main a lot, but your alternate DPS is an Echo. I'm sure if you like actually tracked all your games, you would have a higher win rate on games where your team was running double hit scan, because you have someone doing a lot of pressure in main, and then you have you who's perma flanking. So I like that you're flanking and it's high impact on Cassidy generally, but we're just doing it too much. We're just doing it way too much. So here, this flank, you're going to be late for the fight and the range is bad, right? So the fight's happening now and we're late. I mean, we're not super late, but we like none of this was super helpful. We could have just been in main shooting people, right? Yeah, and the fight's, I mean, also we can do better mechanically, but we can always do better mechanically. So here, yeah, we're just kind of addicted to flanking. I would say chill. You're gonna have to, and it's hard for me to explain like when you should flank and when you shouldn't flank. It's very in the moment. It depends on the map. It depends on the team comps you're playing against. Like there's a lot of conditionals, but just from, I think in this game in particular, you're flanking too much given that the enemy tank is Diva. Okay. The enemy tank was something more brawl tanky, like Orisa, and you don't get marked by them as much, then maybe, but you're just not respecting it enough and you keep dying for it. Like here, yeah, like we shouldn't be taking an angle. Here, we need to be playing main. I understand your hazards here, but this angle also is not going to be good for you. Not only do you get marked by Diva, which I don't think you realize is happening, but this is just fine. Like this is good enough on Cassidy. Because your tank is here, where's the angle now? Okay, where's the angle now? This actually becomes an angle. So that's what I would say about that. Like main is fine. Yeah. I don't mind you dying to the Diva because you didn't hear her, whatever. I mean, it's not great, but I don't mind you dying because of that, but you shouldn't be here anyway. It's the thing. Like here's a situation where you can be coming this way and play this angle. Why? Why is this better? Because you're far away from the enemy team. You're further away. If they dive you, you'll see it happen, right? You'll see them come up that staircase or they'll shoot you, okay? So I like this. You also have cover to work with. And you're not that isolated. Of course, you're going to be a little bit further from your team, but you're far enough away from everybody where you can just rotate out and place it. So I wouldn't mind you coming right side here. Yeah, like I don't mind this play at all. Yeah, and then your tank died. That fight was just kind of lost. Like, if you were going to win that fight, you needed to make that rotation earlier. You need to make the rotation to the top earlier. That's what that came down to. Did we lose here? No, we don't. Okay. Okay. What actually happened to her? Jeez. Okay. So Chaos won. Oh, sorry. Come left side. Nice shots. Okay, one thing I'll mention, on smaller targets like this baby Diva, and they're 1 HP especially, don't aim at their head, aim at their feet. It's going to be easier. It's easier, like if you go in Vaxta and you shoot the baby Diva, you'll see what I mean. If you shoot their feet, it'll be more consistent when they're 1 HP. But when they're full HP, aim body typically, aim body or head. Okay. I don't really mind that much. Not a big deal. Okay. Okay. So fight's won. We come back. We set up. Like here, I want you on cart. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't want you. I like, and it keeps coming up. I appreciate your dedication to taking the off angles here, but we're down 1, right? Our Lucio just died, and the best play we have is just play cart because we just don't want to get picked. Like we don't want to get picked. We don't want to get marked by Diva. They're playing a Hanzo Soj who outrange us, right? Like there's a lot of things that can go wrong here. And you just get marked and die. So this, you're consistently making the wrong like you're just not playing against the matchup, right? Flanking would make more sense if they were playing like a, I don't know, like a Mei, May Reaper, maybe. Actually, maybe that's not even good to flank against. Like, you're just doing it too... You're doing it every single time now, right? Every single time. You're playing like your Tracer. You're playing Cassidy. Like, you know, I'm a big advocate for flanking, but not every single fight. Not every single fight. Like, I think for you, what you should probably practice is open each fight in main and then identify... How would you even measure this? But here's what I was going to say. Open each fight in main and then identify, do I need to... Okay, so here's the thing. You're flanking every single time, but you're not setting up, okay? Nothing is setting up here. It's all just straight up flank, right? For example, whenever you go for this play... Sorry. Whoa, holy moly, that's spoilers. Whenever you go for this play, this is not a setup. This is just a straight up flank off a rip. Like, what you should be doing is riding cart. Like, what I'd like to see you do is ride cart or not go that wide and come this wide like this and play like this. Like, you're just going too deep. You're going way too deep, right? So I'd like to see... I think this is probably the map that exacerbates this issue. So I'd like to see different code from you. I feel like this is going to give you the worst idea on flanking just because of how the map works. Right, this map is very like take alternate paths. There's buildings you can go through, whatever. But honestly, I think your framework here should be open in main, and then think about, okay, is there a place where I can set up better for the next upcoming fight? Like, I'd rather you be on cart here and then set up by coming to this angle here and getting ready to fight in main, or coming to this angle here and getting ready to fight in main. Not just straight up come right side. I think it's just bad. And you also need to respect the enemy tank. You're just not respecting the matchup against D.Va. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, so here's the dead eye. What happens? You're alone. You're alone. No one's here. I mean, it's like everyone's on your screen, so it feels nice. But everyone's looking at you. You're in main. Everyone's dead, right? So that's just like an obviously bad dead eye here. Yeah. This feels more like desperation than anything. Like, you're just like, I have to do something type of situation. Yeah. Okay, do we win? Maybe. Yeah, like you need to stop doing this. Like, opening with the flank every single time it's just not good. Don't default to this. I mean, it'll work. Some games you'll win because you do this, but those are not games you should be winning, I'm gonna be honest. Because those... So here's what happens. In lower elo, what you'll see is there are people that make the suboptimal play every time. And as a result, because they do that, they'll win games they shouldn't be winning because they're making bad plays. But sometimes you'll be like, but Tail, if it's a bad play, how do they win games because of that? Well, it's because it's as you rank up, as you hit, I don't know, let's say you go from gold and plat, those plays are going to stop working. And then you're not going to understand why they're not working anymore. You won't have the foundational understanding to understand when things are good and when they're bad, and then you'll feel stuck because your fundamentals are at a good enough level, right? Fundamentally, you don't understand that taking a flank is not always good, especially against D.Va, especially against bad matchups for you, especially when you're getting marked, right? You're not respecting it enough. Like, what you should be doing is coming main and then looking to set up a flank. Am I going to be able to take a flank that's going to let me kill the backline effectively? Yes or no? Okay, if no, okay, let me just play in main and take a slide off angle. Maybe I'll play this cover here or that cover there, whatever, you know, figure it out. I think for you, I would encourage you to play in main more, force yourself to play in main more, especially on Runasapi in particular, and then look for the flanks. Anyway, but yeah, that's why you're losing this game. You're just going for flank every time and dying. But I'm being a dead horse at this point. I mentioned it like 6 times. Like, here it worked out, for example. Why was this flank good, guys? Why was this flank good? Let's look at this. Okay. Shoot the Kiri. They're low. You know there's only 2 people over there because you can hear them. You hear the D.Va use her boosters to the left side. Okay. You can hear her go far left. So she's far away. Your tank is pushed in. You are flanking as your team is pushing in, and you're effectively sandwiching the enemy team between you and your team. Okay. This is a good flank, and you can see why, right? Every other flank you've been doing has been blind straight into the enemy team, trying to take space for no reason, okay? Like, a lot of the flanks you've been doing is like, like, and especially egregiously here, is you would just roll out through this door and come wide. Like, are you sandwiching them? No. Are you synced with your team? No, right? That's your problem. You're just flanking without your team, without anything. Just take space for no reason. This is a good flank. And you just happen to walk into this play because you flank every single time, is what I'm saying. Like, you don't understand when flanking is good. You just flank. Which, honestly, I'd rather this be your problem. Now you just need to scale it back, okay? You've gone too far into the flank Cassidy. Now you need to be in the main Cassidy and then set up for flanks more often. But now, because you've done this so much, you'll have a better idea on how flanks work. So, yeah, you just need to swing the pendulum to the other side. Yeah, this rotation's not good. You're out of the fight. You could have just played main. This is fine because D.Va's dead. Yep. Cool. Oh, did we win here? Set up for Deadeye is what I like to see from you. Okay, you're a little close. I would have been further back. I like you playing on this right side generally, but if you're gonna go for the Deadeye, you want range, and I would be here. I would be way back here using it, not like in the window. This is a deeper angle for sure. Like, they have to turn more to look at you, but it's just you're too close to them. Is all that came down to. And the Hanzo duel, whatever. Maybe we could have won, whatever. But yeah, so you know, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. You know, it's kind of obvious what your problem was, but thank you for the code. I appreciate that. Yeah. So let's see. What other do we have? Any more codes to go through? Let's see. Coaching. I have another Oasis code to go through, and then I think that's it. And then I'm caught up. New Queen Street. I think these codes are expired. Let me check. Shambali. Yeah, these are expired. Okay, so we won't be able to go through those. So I have one more code on Oasis, and then we are going to call it a wrap for today. Okay, open this one up.
Ready for battle.
Okay, Montana Snack once again on Oasis. I think we have a change of skin here. Maybe we don't. I can't remember. Okay, so same stuff applies on this map. So just quick look at the team comps. The big thing I care about a lot is looking at our DPS. Other guys can be Genji. So generally we're going to be preferring main and working with our flex DPS here. And then we're running a Lifeweaver Brig. So we're playing a lot more of a defensive comp. So just, this is a comp that can't really do anything offensively, right? There's not going to be an anti-nade for you to follow up on, or a speed ring or anything like that. So you're just going to be playing a lot more safer and playing the poke game more than anything. So that's what I'd be thinking about in terms of team comp here. So here in this situation, I actually wouldn't even be rolling out right side, knowing what my team comp is. I would be coming left. Okay, I'd be coming with my Roadhog and my Brig, because I just know there's not going to be a lot of plays for me to be made here. And if I get dove, of course I have a Brig and a Lifeweaver to help me, but I'd rather be with my tank right now, because it's going to be more about poke and living. Yeah, so you making the rotation to point is probably the best thing you could have done there. It's a great job. So one thing about the ball matchup is, if you know you're going to get rolled and you can read the pile driver, like here, I mean, you just kind of react a little late. If you can read the pile driver, you can flash him in the air and cancel it. So just one thing to think about. Like, yeah, that flash is a little bit late. Like, if you can't stun him in the pile drive animation, sometimes you just want to save the flash for when he tries to get out, because he'll use his hook to a wall and get flames again to get out quickly, and then you can stun him and you stop him from getting out. So, sometimes you'll throw him on the ground when he's low, whatever, but just one thing to keep in mind about the matchup. Okay, yeah, so this should be a straight up winning game for you. You have our super defensive comp against a ball venture who you're really good against, as well as a mercy. So yeah, just play defensively and you should be fine. Okay, you just forget about the venture, I guess. You don't understand that they're there. I wouldn't greed this. Just stay where you are, man. Just stay where you are. Don't get greedy. Yeah. Shoot mercy. Okay, this is bad target priority. Okay. I understand you're shooting the ball, but you should see that this mercy's in the air. like this. Bam. She flies in. She hits this. She should be really easy for you to kill in this jump. Like this Mercy should have probably died or at least been super low. She would have actually ended up dying. She takes damage from something else. I don't know what, probably your Genji, but she is like 80 HP, I think. Let's actually check. I think she is 80 HP. Not to be confused for ADHD. She's 100 HP. Okay, you would have had to hit 2 shots, but she would have died. And then we come up top, right? So this is a rare situation where target priority is actually an issue. By shooting this ball is just not really contributing to the state of the fight. Okay. Kill the Mercy. I like the flash. It's unfortunate we don't hit him. And then you kill yourself. Okay. Oh, whatever. That happens. That's just bad timing. I think you shouldn't have really come top at all. I'm gonna be honest. Like I think standing in main is fine. Because the problem with coming at top is you're isolated and you get punished exactly for that, right? So I skipped too far here, but anyway. So like for example here, even though you're not shooting the right target, you still have value, right? You're still doing a bunch of damage. I understand you rotate out to deal with the Venture, to avoid the Venture, but you should be fighting the Venture. The Venture fight is good for you, okay? Right, like I would rather you be here fighting these guys right now. Maybe your break lives. Maybe your life weaver lives because you're there to help contribute to the fight. But because you're not there, they get collapsed on easily. Right. Like you could argue that this rotation, like you're trading backlines, but I don't think it's better. Yeah, because you get caught out, both your supports are dead, and you're just fried. I think if you want to win that, you need to play more defensively. Given that you're playing, this is not a broadly what you should do on Cass. It's given your team comp, you should have played more defensively. And the comp you're playing into, right? The ball, Genji, Venture. That's a flash. Yeah, perfect. This is a situation where you fan the hammer, roll, fan the hammer, cancel, fan the hammer. Okay, this is a ultimate. Like he needs to die. This guy needs to die. Yeah, so I would have done that. Okay. Yeah, we're just in main shooting, whatever. Don't flank. There's no reason to flank. No reason to flank against this comp. They're high mobility, right? They're Venture, Genji, whatever, right? They're just you're gonna flank and then just die, okay? You're not really, the chance of you getting value here is really low in my opinion. Yeah, you're fried. You get one, but that guy shouldn't have died, I'm gonna be honest. That guy should have just, like him dying is kind of bad. This is not gonna play. Against high mobility like that, you're just gonna get punished more often than not, and you should just be playing main with the rest of your team. You're gonna have higher value long term. Yeah, because you're not there, you're not able to deal with this blade, and then your team loses. Or maybe you win because Hog's GOAT. Nice job. Okay. Good grip, honestly. I'd be coming point right now. I would not be playing the single, right? Because this is another thing. If they dive you right now, you're fried, okay? Your team is not going to be able to help you. If this Venture decided for whatever reason to flip their switch and dive you, I don't know if you lose 100% of the time, but it's, why even risk it? If they're with the ball, the chance of you winning is even lower. You're going to be out of LOS from your team. I'd rather you just be back here and play with your break, okay? Or play with your weaver, whatever you want to do. And yeah, your rotation's long as well, right? If you didn't have Baki, you would have died. So we shouldn't have been there to begin with. Don't roll forward. This is probably gonna get you killed. No, yeah, but don't. Your mistake there is rolling forward. And then your weaver screws you over. You need, yeah, like your weaver screwed you over. You actually had the play at that point. This flank play is actually your best play because you're gonna be too close to everybody. So he brings you up to be point blank. Classic weaver gameplay. What are you gonna do about it? You had the play though, honestly, at that point. Okay, we're in main. Now you can push this Venture. Good flash, right? This is a situation where you can take the angle. Why? Why can you take the angle here? Because this Venture is point blank against you, and it's really easy for you to fight you. You're not extending extremely far for this, right? This is like, because here you can just throw the flash, and if you don't get it, okay, roll out, right? Your team's right next to you, right? Like that's not a problem. And then here is even fine because you got to kill your up one and your team is next to you, or at least was. Are they pushing with you at all? Yeah, breaks with you, right? So this is the more justifiable flank here. because you're already going for it anyway. Like, yeah, it works out. Okay, go top left. Okay. I don't really mind this that much. I would not be coming here. Okay, once again, it's just a team comp thing. You're playing against a Venture and a Genji, and you have a Life Weaver break. I would be playing defensively. Like, honestly, I probably wouldn't even come top. I would just be playing in the door here. Like, I'm just gonna give space because, like, yeah, I'd rather be here, honestly. Then I could shoot the ball, and I'm not gonna be diveable. Of course, I give space, but or maybe playing top is fine, but this flank is definitely not good. I can tell you that. Okay, we fan the ball. Nice. Yeah, that's a situation where fanning is fine because fanning ball is typically good. Anyway, because you just do it. You can typically, if he gets low enough, he'll just form and then get out. It's also like pretty much guaranteed you're gonna hit every single bullet in the fan. But now we're stuck over here because we were up top. Yeah, just rotate back. This fight's lost. Yeah, you should have just... Oh, sorry. I have this thing up the whole time. Yeah, you should just went back to your spawn, honestly. You should have identified the fight was lost and left. Wow, your hog stalls for forever. I would have left way earlier. And going for this Deadeye is insane. Oh, the fight's almost over. Oh, I see. You guys actually had to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Because it's 99. So you guys actually had to fight for this. I didn't even realize. Yeah, so the problem was actually, if we go back to the kind of the root of our issue, the issue is that you swing wide here and then you take a bunch of damage from Venture and then you have to give up the entire high ground and then you're screwed. So you started a chain of events that caused you to lose this fight. Because because you got poked out by the Venture, you have to give that up, and then you can't shoot them or put out any pressure actually at all here. You end up killing the ball, but that's because you suck. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, you should have died there. I'm gonna be real. I don't think you realistically should be winning that. And then, yeah, like you needed to be here this whole fight. I'm gonna be honest, because you just get zoned out, you get stuffed by a brig, and then you can't do anything. So that's what that came down to. One mistake led to everything falling apart, really. Does this go to map 3? No, it ends here. Okay, but that was really close, honestly. Like, I think you played generally pretty well. I wouldn't have gone for that one Deadeye flank, and I wouldn't have swung out on that Venture. Okay, crosshair placement's good, by the way. So one thing I'll mention is that these fights are generally going to be losing for you. I've found it very difficult to make a play actually work here. Unless you have speed boost and you can get to the jump pad pretty quickly. It's really easy to get stuffed due to like range issues and cover. So yeah, giving this up I think is fine. Backing up to main. Okay. And then, yeah, I think the only thing here is like here. You need to rotate right side. And you need to rotate through the door on the right. And try to get out rather than back all the way up here. That's just your mistake. It's a pathing error, but whatever. Okay, I think this map is going to be tough. I think if you wanted to win, you needed to swap off gas, I'm gonna be honest. You need to go Tracer, I think. Would have been the better play. Because the problem is playing into just raw dive with Cass on this point is going to be tough. Because the way you win on this point is by flanking. It's by going for big flanks. Like, the way you win generally is not by just walking main and shooting people. It's going to be by, like, coming here and doing something here, or going all the way around and doing something here, or looking for this rotation up to the high ground and shooting them from here. That's generally where you're going to have the most impact. But playing this against dive is going to feel really tough. Yeah, like... Almost hit the bird there, but there's not a lot we can do. So now we're walking into a huge ult disadvantage. You're almost guaranteed to lose this fight. This is a guaranteed loss. So I would, if you wanted to like read the ultis, you should realize that the enemy team has a shit ton of ulti. Or I cussed once again, my fault. You should read that the enemy team has a lot of ultimates. So I would just do something super high risk. I'll be honest, because you're gonna lose either way. I would come like super far left side, coast, like dodge the cars type of situation. Okay, we try main, and then they just unleash the gates of hell, and our break gets a kill. We actually win this fight. No, we're blue team. Sorry. Yeah, like this was a certified loss. There's nothing we can do here. And I think we just actually lose off that. Yeah. Not a lot to do. We get the flip. Okay, sure. Okay, now on defense, once you have the point cap, it is just... Honestly, I think your best play is to play up top. I think your best play is going to be to play up top. Because the problem is, if you play in main, you're going to get flanked from the left, like this side here. Because they're just going to like ball roll through here, then slam on you or whatever. Right, the only way you're going to be able to actually contribute to the state of the fight is to be up top and force them to use cooldowns to get to you. Right, the Venture will have to use drill dash. The Genji will have to dash or wall climb, whatever. And then the ball will have to slam, or at least use his mobility to get to you, right? So I think playing up top is going to be your best bet, yeah. But the thing you sacrifice by playing up top is you can't poke them when they walk up, right? Like that's... Yeah, I think dropping is bad. I know you want to contribute, but I don't think it's going to work out. Yeah, like... You needed to be up top. Like, against this comp, it's just kind of play up top. Or, like, contribute with your... Like, are you stacked with your Brig? I think the only other thing you could have done is stack with Brig. Yeah, you are stacked with Brig and you still die. I mean, you would have still died to be... You would have still died if you were up top. If we're being, like, 100% honest. But if this was, like, coordinated play, it would be you and Brig up here. Like, and this is the thing about Cassidy in like... high level OWCS type of play is that Cassie's normally pocketed by support of one another, like a Lucio or a Brig typically. So I think you just kind of set up for failure. This is just not like a point you can win. I'm gonna be honest. It's really tough for you to win in this comp. That, or I think like, let's look at it. Let's act like this is not 100% losable. I think you needed to play... I for sure would be playing, if I was playing on the floor, I would be playing this left side, because from the left side I can at least see down main and I can anticipate what's going to happen. I'm going to have more information. By playing on the right side, you don't really know what's going to be going on the right, like to the right of you. Right, like I would have been able to poke out the Genji, like from here, I would have been able to poke out the Genji before he even did that, before he dashed in. But I just think it's bad. I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is here. I'm going to be honest with you, and I think you lose. No, you're about to lose though. Yeah, I just don't think Cass is good. On this map, there's not a lot you can do, I'm gonna be honest. There's not like an answer. I think the only other thing you could have done is won the first fight. So let's analyze the first fight. How could we have done the first fight better? Okay, so first fight, we can't really walk out because then we'd be the furthest guy. So there's not a lot we can do right now. I guess we could... we just get stuffed. That's the thing. We're getting spammed by Genji. And the Venture went wide and our tank is dead. Yeah, we don't really have anything. Like, unless we're lip and we just hit 2 shots. Unless we 2-tap somebody. I guess another thing is you're staying in the doorway, so this Genji spam is really easy. Like, if we look at it from his perspective... Yeah, you're also just, like, in the doorway. I don't know. I don't think there's an answer. I think against this comp, a full dive comp, which counters Cassidy, there's just not a lot you can do on this map. I think you're just kind of fried. I'll be honest, you needed to win the other map and then go to university, and then it's better for you. I think that's what it comes down to, just swap. So sorry I don't have more information on like how to win on this point. I just don't think... I don't reasonably think there is a way. But yeah, thank you for this VOD. Sorry I can provide the most information on that for you. And then do we have any other codes? Do we have any other codes? All these other ones I think are just expired. Yeah, they're just expired. Yeah, I think that's it. So those are all the VODs for today, guys. I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different codes. We went through 2 Oasis VODs, New Queen Street, Havana, and Blizzard World in Runasapi. So once again, if you guys enjoy this content, you want to get your own gameplay commented on as well as coached, feel free to join my Discord. The link is in the description below. Join the Discord, and it's pretty easy to submit a VOD request. The only thing I require is that you don't have terrible crosshair placement. So what I mean by that is if you are aiming at the ground consistently, don't submit me a VOD, because the problem is this problem is so bad, you have to fix it before I can even tell you to do anything else. Like if you are walking around the map and you're doing this, you are going to lose games. Okay, if you just do this, start doing this every single game instead of doing this every single time, you're going to win 20% more games, I promise you. I guarantee it all, actually. Just because of how important crosshair placement is on any hit scan hero. So if you're not aiming, if you're aiming at the floor consistently, you need to fix that before you send me a VOD. So that's the only thing I'll mention. I won't beat you. Like if I don't have a ton of VODs to go through and I have time, sure, I don't mind helping, but it would be more beneficial for everybody if this bad habit was fixed before anything else. But other than that, thank you guys once again for the VODs. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.